Are we rolling?
Yeah, it's live.
It's not live.
It's live.
Bro, don't even fucking try that.
We're streaming on Twitch.
Y'all know better, dude.
Yeah.
You know, bro.
Okay, it's not live.
Bro.
What's going on, man?
Dude, I mean, well, first and foremost, we were supposed to do this podcast a long time ago.
Yeah, we were.
It's taken a lot of time to get back to the couch. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm fired up today, bro. And I know, and I sense that you're probably fired up too, bro.
I'm always fired up.
Yeah, maybe that's true. But we definitely have a bunch of shit to talk about. Like, let me ask you this question right off the bat. Why am I on this couch right now? How the fuck did I end up back on this podcast? Like, why do you even want me here?
I was just talking about this. I had Brendan on 2 days ago, posted that pod. It would have been yesterday, or excuse me, it's today as we're filming this. And the reason why I love having you on the podcast is just because I like to talk to you. And I think we always tend to have good conversations just about any sort of topics, things that are current, things that are happening. Mm-hmm. And I really never wanted to have a podcast where it was based on guests. And I've always been afraid of that because I knew that at some point, like, how many times are you going to be able to interview Elon Musk or like these big, massive guests?
There's only so many guests.
And I've watched this happen to podcasts where it's like, if your content is just based on the biggest guests or the biggest celebrities, then it's like at some point it fizzles because there's no real like substance, right? For example, I talked to Brendan about this. I said in the pod I just posted about Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan has the most successful podcast in the world because he's able to have conversations with a random scientist that you've never heard of, but the conversation is so intriguing that you want to listen.
Yep.
So with you, the reason why I like you coming back, and I have Brendan and people that I've seen, they've been on the show before, and people that I've been on their podcast many times, is because you're good at having conversation and you're good at explaining yourself and your thoughts. So that's what I really value. And that's why I always want to have you back. Because I don't want to be like, yo, I got to bang with this crazy episode. Of course, I love that. But if I couldn't sustain that forever, no one can.
I mean, I feel like it with me, it depends on the day sometimes. I think, I talk about it all the time. I kind of am at the mercy of my mind. And I know this is something else that you and I relate on in a massive way is this ongoing battle that we have with ourselves, which is truly, the greatest battle that any man faces in their life, like coming to terms and being right with themselves. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
So, I mean, we've certainly, I love coming on the show. I really enjoy coming on the show. I love talking to you. I know we're going to talk about a lot of shit today. One of the things being, comments that were made on the Impaulsive show recently. When does this episode come out?
This will be out next week.
Next Tuesday. Okay. So, and as a preface to that, and the reason I'm bringing it up now is just because before any of that shit popped off, the reason we got into Bradley Martyn discussion was because I was singing your praises. You know what I'm saying? I think you're an incredible podcast host. I think you have a very expanded amount of wisdom just through life experience and through, going through trials and tribulations. And we've entered a strange time on social media and in the commentary and online personality community where, with the exception of a few people, the majority of pundits and personalities are people preaching about how to live life, and a lot of them haven't even lived life.
We talked about this on the phone.
Right? Yeah. And so like you have these people, some of them in their 20s. Their early 20s, and I tweeted about this yesterday. I said, I really don't want to hear anything that anybody under the age of 25 has to say. That's a blanket general statement. There's some kids that lived in Sudan, and there are some kids that have lived in Syria or wherever and have been through war the entire life. They lost both of their parents. They understand what it's like to go through hardship since 12 years old.
Yeah.
But a lot of these online personalities nowadays are young kids who have never gone through anything. And the only thing in this world that can teach you how to properly live life is living life.
Yeah.
There's nothing else. There's nobody that can bestow the toolbox upon you that you need to get through this existence other than doing it yourself. And you've been through it, and that's why I like talking to you.
Yeah.
So thanks for having me back on,
course,
and hello to your audience.
No,
and I appreciate you guys having to stomach me again.
No, man, I love it. And if they didn't even love it, honestly, like I love it. I don't go. They don't complain about you being a guest again. I don't care, right? I do. Like, the only reason why I have success is because I did the things I wanted to do, right? Genuinely speaking. Now, to your point, I agree to an extent, because I think what's happening is, if we're referencing like the younger creators or the younger people popping off, saying stuff, speaking their opinion, the reason why like it is also important is just because all of us learn at different paces, right? So like someone who's 22, yeah, they for sure haven't been through, not in all cases, like you said, there might be some outliers where like this 20-year-old has went through this much more shit than someone who's 25 or 30. But regardless, like it's still irrelevant when it comes to like generational and like age and like upbringing and going through like, because for example, if we think like right now, kids who lived a completely different life than us, completely different like stressors, completely like everyone is just like the internet age. It's like on the internet, on the phone. Those people, those kids, whatever, younger generation, they have like a whole different perspective on life.
Absolutely.
So like, obviously you and me older, right? We're not going to look at their perspective and be like, okay, that's really valid for us because we're completely separated from it. Right. But this is the greater thing that's happening on the internet that I think is really interesting is like, there's just so much of everything. And it's getting to a weird point. And you know, I was talking with Brendan about this where like, do you think, and I said this on the pod, but I want to talk to you about this too. In the next like 10 years, 20 years, like, dude, no one is going to be like, I'm tuning into CNN or I'm looking at the television and watching this news outlet. Like, I think like news outlets are just dying because people lost a lot of faith in them for so many reasons over the last fucking 5 years. And also now everyone is just picking their kind of like content creator that they like to listen to, talk about relevant topics, talk about things or ideologies, etc. And so they're just becoming this like massive like array of just everything. And it is getting to a weird point where there's so much.
Oversaturation. I mean, it's also great. I mean, it's a great thing. But I have a bit of fear in what those different personalities and people are saying. And I think we've talked about this pendulum on the show before. I am 100% in agreement with this idea that, you know, that a lot of these people are kind of propelling right now, that we in a lot of ways have lost our way as a civilization, as a society. The past, decade plus have been a bit insane, and there have been some absolutely ridiculous viewpoints, rules, laws, feelings, thoughts, sentiments that have been force-fed down people's throats, and I get that. And I think right now what you're seeing is this massive swing back of the pendulum to traditionality, to religion, to more less Western philosophical viewpoints, right? And I'm for that in some ways, and I more so I understand it and I'm aware of why it's happening. But my fear is that one of the things that we're losing, and I always go back to this, one of the things that we're losing is empathy for other people. And the reason I say that, and the reason why I tie it back to that young creator viewpoint, is it's very easy to get caught up in someone's ideas of what's right and wrong for as a blanket statement for the entire world, and how those are the only ways life can be lived, right? Without taking into consideration all of the variables, all of the external factors, all of the stressors, all of the illnesses, substance abuse problems that people go through, right? Yeah. And so I don't think you can garner that empathy without living life. No online personality is going to teach you to understand why people do what they do, why people seem to live by a lower moral code than you might think than you might think they should. Right. And so I understand why the pushback is happening. I just really wish that people weren't being so mean to each other. Yeah.
Well, this is the thing that I've just really found interesting. Like if I look back during the P-Demi era, and like this is no knock at H3 and the people who like attacked me on the internet for like keeping my gym open. This is no knock, but I remember during that time feeling this same exact way, and it was in regards to why I kept my gym open. And it was just like it was, again, I've talked to H3 about this. Everything's good. The guy's dope. He's shown me tons of love, but it was like, oh, you're a dumb meathead. You're just doing this because you're doing this. Yep. But there's so many reasons why I did it, and so many reasons why I was against it for specific like real health reasons, and me like the way that I dealt with the city, the way the city had approached me, the way they were enforcing these like rules and regulations in ways that were just like applicable to me, but not to them, and not to them, but okay to them. And it just, none of it made sense. And I remember thinking, like, to your point about people going like, hey, this is what I believe and everyone else is just wrong and stupid. I felt the same way on that other side. And now it's swinging back again. I can see it where it's like getting more, everyone's a lot more brash about like you said, if we talk about religion, if we talk about like traditional values, because people are also like fighting back. It seems like this, like, I guess people would reference this as woke, and like how it's this way and you got to be accepting of everyone. And now people are kind of like, wait, like, cause what's happening is like, it seems like a battle between like identity, not like gender identity, just human identity. And it's like people are fighting for this like almost like identityless, like we're all the same, treat everyone the same. And then there's people who are like, whoa, there are reasons why people have certain like roles or people, things like that, like not that they need to be this way, but like if we talk about traditionally like marriage or just in like relationships, people like live these certain things that are, it's not for everyone, but it, to your point, and the thing that I'm trying to say is I get the idea of people are trying to, and this is what I just think is the problem. And even when I was in that space, I would always have conversations where I was like, listen, I don't agree with everything someone's saying, but like I'm willing to listen and to talk about it. But at the end of the day, like I know, like I talked to you earlier about these content creators who are younger, my learning time, my timeline of which I understand things, and which like, cause I can only speak and experience from my own. Yeah. And if I can't conversate with someone else and it's like about what they're going through without attacking them, then it's like, but that's wrong.
That's what's happening.
Of course, that is what's happening.
Is what's happening. And it's so like let's be honest, the majority of the conversation is between the woke left, and to be completely honest with you, there's really no other way to describe them now but, you know, that side than the woke right. And I'm talking about the fringes. Us, everybody else, we fall into the middle. And that's really the most important lesson that everybody needs to keep in mind here. Yeah. This conversation and this ongoing firestorm that seems to represent our nation as a whole right now is a blip. It's a blip. Yeah. It's really a blip. It seems to be growing larger, but at the end of the day, when I go outside, when I walk in this house, regardless of our feelings towards vaccines, towards Hillary Clinton, towards Epstein, whatever. I mean, I'm sure we all have the same feelings on Epstein.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
like,
for sure.
But you know what I'm saying on those type of things. Yo, what's up, Brad? Good to see you, bro. You know, excited to sit down with you, have a conversation. I love you. Say I love you to everybody I meet. I'm cool with everybody I meet. You know what I'm saying? That's the majority of the people. Unfortunately, the fringes on both sides have kind of spoiled the fun for the metaphorical fun for everyone, right? And the thing that I think is happening is as that pendulum swings, the problem for the people that are, you know, defending that fringe right is they're going to now push it back. You don't know this because it's such a long-term strategic swinging of that pendulum. Right. But with this now, you know, like this is without me saying good or bad on either side. Let's just have an unbiased conversation about it, right? A decade ago, gay rights, trans rights, abortion rights, all of these things picked up, caught fire, and we reached kind of peak liberalism and wokeness in the United States of America. Call it over like the past 10 to 20 years, right? Yeah. Right now, at this current juncture, you know, in July of 2023, we're starting to really watch the pendulum start to swing further back to that right side, right? Yeah. You know, rumble, kick, freedom of speech, this pushback, this increased desire for traditionality, religion, so on and so forth. Once again, not saying either is right, wrong. To be completely honest with you, I'm in the middle. I really am somewhere in the middle, and some people will say that you're a loser for that, and that's where losing happens, in the middle. I don't care. That's where I am. I feel a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and I feel like that's where the majority of people live, right? Yeah. The issue is that generally speaking, each side is controlled by very, very smart intellectual free thinkers as that pendulum swings back initially, right? I'm going to come out and say it. You can say whatever you want about Andrew Tate, about his school of thoughts, about anything. If you can't look at that man and realize that he's an intellectual and an intelligent and extremely well-spoken individual, you're lying to yourself. You can you know what I'm saying? it's the same way you can look at Obama and know that he's an intelligent orator, one of the greatest public speakers that we've had as president, right?
Yeah.
There are just certain things that are just true about people.
Yeah.
The same goes to could be said about PBD, about Patrick Bet-David. I have a tremendous amount of respect for him. I think he's a very strong intellectual, free thinker, and studied and debates well, so on and so forth, right? So what happens is you have these people who run the flag for the opposing viewpoint, but what happens is their views then trickle down to a community of people who unfortunately aren't as bright as them. Those people are the ones that generally fuck it up, right? And so what will happen is the message that starts as a very pure message of traditionality or religion or whatever, which I'm not going to say that, either of them are always, right in their viewpoints, because I think everybody's right and wrong. It then gets fucked up by the people who carry the torch after.
It's like a game of telephone.
100%. That's exactly what it is. It's grapevine.
And also just different perspectives and where people want to interject themselves in ways to either go viral or this or that, right? It makes sense. Like, that's the world and that's the internet. Yeah. That's why it's tough. So it's it's weird because it's hard to say this is just entirely wrong or this is because everything we're speaking to is speaking to the same idea, which is they need to learn to get to that point to go, oh, right. Yeah. That's why it's such a tough conversation, because we also can't sit from our perspective and say these people are just fucking things up, because I doubt that there's these people. I don't think they're just genuinely being oh, I just want to cause problems. I do though, however, and I've talked about this many times on podcasts with a lot of people that I'll conversate with who are maybe more right or more left, and I agree that everyone is doing the same thing, and it kind of frustrates me a little bit, even though I do the same shit. I make content, I earn money. Everyone's trying to make money. And that's the one thing, I'm not saying don't make money, but a lot of times I think people do things just to make money. And I'll give you an example, and I'm going to use myself. I asked Nate Diaz, could I beat him in a street fight? Yep. Do I really think I could beat Nate Diaz in a street fight? No. Right? I don't, but I knew
you did
that
it for clicks.
I did it.
Same thing with Devin Haney?
No, Devin Haney, I think I beat the shit out of Devin Haney. That one's different.
You're so much bigger than him, bro.
Yeah.
But also he's a trained fighter.
Yeah, but it's he's a boxer. You get him on his back. He weighs 150 pounds.
Well, same could go for if he gets you with the jaw.
100%.
You know what I'm saying?
100%. He could just crack me, but also historically, if we're talking about him as a boxer, I know enough that he doesn't have crazy knockout power, doesn't have crazy knockouts. That's not how he wins. So he'd have to really clock me, which he could.
What about I don't know,
Logan Paul?
Logan Paul.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with that. This one's interesting. Dude,
are we gonna? I feel like we're gonna lose the other topic, which is fine.
I love the other topic.
No, because we will get back to it. And honestly, I don't want to overpower your people with any of this shit. It's so dramatic and
hold on, let's wrap it up then. Let's wrap the topic up. The problem is though, dude, there's for us to sit here, because we've learned and we know at this point in our life certain things, and obviously so much more to learn. It's tough to go these people are just wrong though. Because I was fucking 20 years old and I was wrong about fucking everything.
Correct. No, but correct. That's what I'm trying to say. It's
you mean because now they have platforms and they're reaching all these people and then they're giving this information that's wrong. But like I said, in their situation, it's not. And then maybe to their followers that are the same age, it's not. Even though it kind of could be a little toxic.
The idea of subjective accuracy is troubling. It's like we've gotten to a point where the idea of being right or wrong doesn't exist anymore.
Bro, but that's a major issue overall.
Do you know what I'm saying? And obviously dude, there's also right now, right and wrong are so ingrained in so many different verticals of thought, right? For some people, the idea of right or wrong are decided for them at birth via religion. They will never deviate from the moral code that is presented to them by way of baptism. However, I don't know what the connection process with Allah looks like, or in the Jewish religion, but that sets their morality for the rest of their life, and that's what wrong or right is. Other people learn right or wrong by way of abuse, trauma, drug addiction, parental divorce, whatever their reasons are. So to simply say, right or wrong. Everybody has a little bit of a differentiator, a differential on, or feels different about what right or wrong is. And that's what makes the world a good and a scary place. And to make matters even more complicated, because of social media and now because of the way we're interacting with other countries and other cultures, religions are starting to mix. And you're starting to see honestly starting to see a ton of online religious battle, which is insane. I mean, you're seeing like a good amount of anti-Semitism. You're seeing, recently, which I hate to see. I hate the idea of anybody talking shit or being mean to anybody about the religion. It's a very personal belief and crusade that, I already know why you're shaking your fucking head on that.
Yeah. God damn it. The Logan Paul thing.
I can talk about whatever, bro.
No, I won't do that.
No. I'm more than happy to talk about it, dude. Listen.
That was a shit moment.
It was a shit moment. Yeah. But I'm gonna say this.
I'm just gonna say, if someone's gonna say I'm getting lame, they can get flamed, because I never flamed anyone for anything.
I don't think there was anybody that was involved with that moment that feels good about that show.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really don't. And honestly,
I didn't mean to do that.
No. Today's not honestly the best day, but I want to talk about the stuff because I'm here. Okay. Today's been fucking wild, and I've been mentally all over the place, but I'm here. I'm sitting on this couch. So we're going to talk about this a little bit. There's been a lot of drama, bro.
Yeah.
With the show.
Well, I honestly just really wanted to ask you, like, besides the fact of the conversation, I wanted to ask you, to the best of your ability, what can you speak about George? Like, why is he off the show?
So here's the thing. Obviously, like, everybody has been kind of tight-lipped about it, right? Yeah. About the situation, and there's, various factors as to why that's the case. The situation has been particularly tough for me because I really am a third party in the situation. I am a founder, yes, but at the end of the day, really a co-host on the show. I definitely have, contribution and decision-making power, but at the end of the day, it's not my name on the wall. It's not my show. Okay. So from a decision-making standpoint or ability to speak on complex topics like this, I prefer not to. The one thing I will say is this.
Before you say this, if it was your choice, would you have kept George on the show based on what you just said?
There's no way for me to answer that without it causing a massive problem.
Sorry.
No.
I have to ask these questions.
Listen. I have no problem with the questions.
Yeah.
I just ask everyone to understand that my ability to answer or not answer is complex. That's
I understand.
All. The one thing that I will say is this. I always, and I could say this, there's a lot of things where I feel broken on in my life because I've done some things right, some things wrong. I regret certain things. I can say this with my chest out. I was always good to George. If you watch back any episode of that show, I always, if a guest was going on too hard on him, whether it was Bobby Lee, whether it was Logan himself, no matter what happened, I always had George's back. If he had an issue with a flight, if he had an issue with a hotel, he called me first, and I always took care of the problem. I was always good to him on the show. And so he had a appearance on Howie Mandel's podcast, a couple weeks ago, and I didn't like the idea of just always being grouped in, of it being like they, because his relationship with Logan from a business and friendship standpoint is very different than mine and his relationship. And
George's relationship.
Yes, yeah. and I still respect and love George very much. He's an incredible person. Yeah. He's incredibly grounded in his religious and family beliefs. He's a loving kid, a lovable kid, and he's a positive spirit.
Yeah.
And I miss him. I do. I really do. I can say that without a shadow of a doubt. And the one thing I will say is that the idea of working alongside friends in this space is very fucking hard and very tough. And it's just a really tough topic. And honestly, like we purposely haven't said a lot about it. Yeah. Right. But
because it's lawsuit shit or what?
What's that?
Is it lawsuit shit?
No. No, it's just
the respect or what?
Yeah, it's just I think there's just like a lot of feeling and a lot of love and a lot of just kind of upsetness across the board on how things played out.
Yeah.
And the idea that, you know, it's something where any of the parties can simply point the finger and say your fault is just not the case.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? It just was a complex situation, and you know, I mean, you just wait and see how it plays out. You know, I mean, that's really what it is. But you know, I mean, listen, like I don't think that there's a tremendous amount of like bad blood or anything like that. I also think that he got quite excited and fired up about his own show.
For sure.
And to be honest, like rightfully so. Like there's been a lot of reasons why I haven't started my show, you know, from you know, issues that I deal with from a self-worth standpoint and you know,
about you making
anxiety
your own show?
And so on and so. I always was.
Why
I
don't you
do this shit, bro.
Well, why don't
I
you
do
do it?
this shit the same way you do this shit.
Yeah.
I'm born to talk, have conversations, and
But
be
why
a
don't you have
podcaster.
your own show?
It's complicated, bro. It's complicated. It's the kind of shit I talk about in therapy. You know what I'm saying? Which I'm happy to talk about on the show.
But
I've
what's
never
complicated about it? It just seems like it's a contractual thing.
It's not ever that easy, bro. You know what I'm saying?
We talking about the relationship between like someone.
No, it's not even that, bro. It's. I talked about this earlier on this episode. As men, we are our biggest battles with ourselves.
Yeah.
Our biggest battles with ourselves. Our ability to succeed or fail in this world is based on how much we truly believe in our ability to succeed.
100%. We were just talking about this before you got here.
And to be quite honest with you, I still, even after 400 extremely, you know, fantastic episodes of you know, one of the coolest shows where we've had the honor of sitting down with so many guests, after hundreds of episodes of my own show, hundreds of millions of views, a best-selling book, kudos from other people in the industry that I respect, and all of these things, I still have a lot to work on in myself in terms of how I look at myself and the confidence that I have in myself. And you know, there have been people who have said, bro, like you're funny, bro. Get on stage, write a routine. Like what the fuck you doing? Go do stand up. I am a victim of self-limiting beliefs. I always have been. It is one of the things.
Is it related to being like perfectionism, like having it just be right?
Nah, it's deeper than that. I have always had a bit of an issue with myself.
Like just mentally, physically,
mentally. I mean, bro, it's like, dude, like the whole world can sing your praises and tell you that what you do is great, and wow, you're a great orator, you're great at speaking, all of these things. But until you truly believe that, it's almost like remember the movie Inception?
Yeah, I love that
where their fear was that they would not be able to implant an idea into the target's mind because he needs to implant that idea in his own mind or it won't hold.
Yeah.
I feel like that with my own life sometimes because I probably have had more support from the industry than anyone I've ever seen. Every single person, I've never had somebody say no to me, from streamers to porn stars to, you know, to podcast hosts to business partners all over the world. I've been so blessed with my network, right? But until you truly believe in yourself, and by the way, to complicate things further, until you truly are at peace with yourself and are able to overcome the battles that weigh you down every single day, you'll never truly be free enough to succeed at its highest level. I'm very successful right now, extremely successful, and I can continue to succeed on this path. I know you're going to tell me that I'm overcomplicating an issue.
No, not at all. That's not what I was gonna say at all. I'm really just curious because like it's obviously a self-sabotage thing, and I wanted to talk to you about this even before you started talking about this. One of the main topics that I like, just because I like randomly just think of shit as I'm coming into these conversations. I don't plan anything.
That's why they're great. That's why they're great.
I appreciate it, but it was in relationship to just the idea of succeeding and accomplishing things, and how like specifically nowadays, because there's so much stuff that like to stand out, you really have to kind of like be, I mean, it's weird. Like everyone can have a podcast, but not everyone should have a podcast. I think you should have a podcast. But my question is like, just in regards to like the male ideas around our self-worth, and like, cause you mentioned it when we first started this conversation about how as a man, you have to do all of this stuff in order to like have success in life and to sustain success. In regards to that idea in you, why, like, genuinely, just what do you think it has to do with like the past, because you went through something that was so difficult, or because you feel like you're not going to be able to show up and sustain, or is it because like you feel like you're not good enough to have more success or your own independent success? Like, what is it?
Honestly, like something I just recently in the past couple weeks went back to therapy.
I've been doing therapy, for the last few months.
Amazing, good. As well as I started meditation.
Big
as well, yeah. So those two things.
At this point, you have to know.
Yeah.
What it is. Obviously, you don't have to have a perfect picture.
Well, I'll tell it to you like this. In support of the traditionalists and the people that are pushing for that return of that traditionality, one of the things they're very good at, and I bet you Tate is incredible at it, and I know Patrick Bet-David is incredible at it, and some of these other people are great at it, is discipline. You can be, we always talk about these two things that are needed for success. And they're like, what's more important? Is it talent or hard work, right? And you can be very hardworking and very talented and still hit a ceiling for success if you can't overlay a discipline mindset. And one of my major faults in life is I'm not very disciplined. I like to believe that I'm a talented speaker. I like to believe I'm funny. I like to believe that I have a lot of things going for me in that department. I surely work.
That's all true.
Right.
Yeah.
I surely work, but I've never been very disciplined. And as a result, I sometimes feel ceilinged in terms of success, because you have to remember, another one of the reasons I don't want to tear myself down too bad that I haven't done my own show yet is because I already have many verticals that are succeeding, right? I have a fantastic, YouTube channel, one of the, biggest podcasts in the world in terms at least of notoriety and sentiment from the mainstream community, and a book, and now I have a burger brand, 1010 burger brand that I'm working out with, people from all over the world. And so I have a lot of stuff going for me. So one of the biggest issues is that lack of discipline.
Is it related to complacency?
Like it can be,
because like I'm already good.
One of the worst things that can happen in your life is that you get comfortable.
Yeah.
It really fucking is, dude. It's I am very, I get a lot of smoke from Jeff and a lot of the other guys because I can just keep, bro. My brand deals are still massive. You know what I'm saying? Like I get massive brand deals every week. I haven't, shout out to my sales team. I haven't missed a brand deal in years. Like every time I put a video out, I'm getting a massive, 5-6 figure chunk of money. Like it's not like, so I can just keep doing that forever. So the complacency is there. Yeah. Because it's like, why am I going to go and reformat? But without evolution, we all die.
Oh yeah.
We all fucking die. And to be completely honest with you, here's the other thing I will say. It's going to happen. This shit is fucking happening. I have proposals. Like the show's going to happen. The reason it hasn't happened already is because of lack of discipline and lack of just a little bit of a lack of confidence and desire to go and start a new thing. And that's a major pain point in the life of a man. You really have to be willing to take that risk and to continue to evolve.
I think the same reason, I don't know.
It's also very hot in here. You know that already. We've already discussed that.
Is it on? Has it been getting colder? Is it getting colder? Okay. So I'm just shot in the dark here, but because I can relate to this in a lot of ways. I'm willing to bet this is maybe the same reason why, and maybe you can shoot me down completely, but is the same reason why you haven't settled down more in like your relationship aspect too.
That's changing right now.
Is it?
Yeah, so I'm talking to someone right now.
Man, I wish I had like Jeff's production because I would have played like a
the
clapping sound.
applause, yeah. Yeah, I'm talking to someone right now. She's private on Instagram.
How many followers?
She has like 2,000 followers. She doesn't
What?
give a shit. She had no idea who I was. I met her in Miami. She's incredible. I have really over the past 6 to 12 months shifted my belief set on. I can't even believe I'm fucking using this statement right now, but what a high value woman is. And so like I can't. And by the way, that's not to say that any of the people that I dated in the past or talked to in the past weren't of that essence. Everybody has their own characteristics that make them an incredible partner. And I am thankful for every partner that I've had. But I have really been looking at people recently and looking at relationships in terms of how would this person be in a committed relationship where, say, there was a kid involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
More long term.
Like I started talking to this girl, not, and it's new. I don't want to make it sound like I'm in this like insane like crazy. I'm not getting engaged anytime soon.
Yeah, but the idea that you're thinking about it this way is so cool, man.
It definitely has evolved a lot,
Yeah.
and I have to pat myself on the back for that a little bit for finally growing up a little in that respect. But yeah, just the idea that someone is looking out for your best interest is an incredible feeling in this world,
Yeah.
and I want to, that has to be the core tenet of a relationship. And I think we're steering off course a little bit in how young men view relationships now too, because of certain things. And
Yeah. You talking about as a society?
yeah. Or at least on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Like
Twitter and TikTok.
Yeah, exactly. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I think there's some skewed aspects of like what makes a woman a good woman. Like I still refuse to base a, potential partner's worth on their past. I'm still a little bit more forgiving because I'll always have to be like that in my own, because I need people to really understand my past.
Yeah.
And I don't, for whatever reason, I don't think I'll ever be able to align with this idea that what is it that they say, a man with a lot of partners is a master, but a woman without, I'm saying?
The lock with the key
exactly.
thing.
Like, I don't know if people can believe whatever they want. I don't know if I'll ever be able to believe that. Luckily, in this circumstance, like I don't even have to think about that because she's very low key and she's getting her master's degree, and it's all
Master's
good.
degree in what?
Business, strategic business, communications.
I can do some research.
No, I've been posting her left and right. You've been on my.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I
so
try
I've
not
seen her
to
then.
because she doesn't want. She has like 60,000 follower requests on Instagram, and she's like, "Why do you tag me? I'm not accepting. I don't want."
Oh, okay, I know who it
followers."
is. Oh
Yeah.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, so I've been hanging out with her a lot, and that's slowed me down and honestly allowed me to refocus my energy on things that are much more important, because I think like that whole going after girls is such a trap, bro. It's such a waste of time.
God.
It's such a waste of fucking time.
We
bro.
talked about this. Yeah, we talked about this before, so I'm glad you're bringing it up again, but it is the worst fucking thing for especially younger men.
Yeah.
Because like we were talking earlier about the value of a man, like you have to, and I was talking to my boy Jacob about it. You have to like make your worth. Like, and I can't sit and say like women don't have to do anything. Obviously, like depending on what they're doing, like they would have to do a ton. But nowadays, dude, like a super attractive girl can just get on the internet and pop on OnlyFans and they got their bills paid. But men do really have to put in effort and energy to like build themselves into something. Not that, and this is not, I'm not trying to weigh it against women and what they need to do, but like we were kind of just joking how like a girl could just like imagine if you saw a piece of content of me where I walked straight and then I turned around and I smiled and it got 1 million views.
No, bro, 100%.
Like this is, you gotta,
no, 100%. I agree with that. It's ironically,
maybe could now. But.
Ironically, Okay, this is actually a really funny topic that you bring up, and like, dude,
But imagine you.
No, I
imagine
just
you trying to grow. You like walk and you turn, you smile because you got a nice butt, and they'd be like, this fucking loser.
Okay, ready for this? Now I'm gonna. You're right, and I have to say this, dude. Like, this pod has been fucking heavy, dude, and I apologize. I've been in a heavy mind state today.
That's good.
And I wish I brought like a little bit more.
No, I love
like,
this. It's my favorite
energy to you. But I want to say this. You're right. But now look at the strange converse to it. It's almost like we have our lanes in our direction, right? Men can be podcast hosts, we can be creators, we can do this, we can do that. But we can't be hot, do a twist turn, poke our ass out, and get OnlyFans subscribers, right?
Yeah. Some guys can. Some guys
shout out Harry Jowsey. You know what I'm saying?
Can,
like,
yes.
it couldn't be me, but shout out Jowsey, right? But on the converse side, you also have to look at how tough it is for them to come over to our side, and to make an impact.
Yeah. Probably,
honestly, to your point, it's probably it might be a little bit easier for them now. It's tough, bro. It's tough out here to it's not hot boy season. Like, it's tough to be a hot boy these days.
Yeah, bro. Like, it's fucking intense, dude. Just imagine.
Do you want to do that?
No, not at all. I'm just like, just imagine. Here's the deal. For us, it's different because we're here now, right? But imagine for like the 98% of men that they're like trying to grind to have that beautiful wife and that beautiful family. And it's like that beautiful wife that they're going after is like, I can just get OnlyFans and make 10, 20, 30K a month. And this guy's like, I'm trying to fucking make it.
It's very rare. And like, I hate to try to combat the entirety of this new community of creators that are trying to teach other men how to get women, because I'm sure you've seen it, but that space is massive right now. Like, here's how to be a high value man. Here's how to, 10 top rules.
I've seen it.
No, but it's an entire community on both TikTok and Twitter, right?
Yeah.
Of how to like do these things, right?
Yeah, like if there's a girl doing this, then you need to do that, like that kind of shit.
Do you not think that I could have gone into that space and done it better than any?
Yeah,
that's my world, bro.
Yeah,
that is my existence, dude. Like, let's not beat around the bush. OnlyFans, Instagrammers, lawyers, whatever. You know me. That's my world.
Yeah.
Women have been my world for a long time now. I've always been good in that place, in that space, right?
Yeah.
The thing that I've recently realized is that's not a boast. That's not a brag. That's not a good thing, dude. It's not. That's what I was just saying before I had to take a break, is like, it's a time suck. Whether or not you look at it as like a religious wrong or an immoral situation, it's just a time suck, bro. If you ask me right now, or even your audience, would you rather be the best player in the world or the best lover in the world? What do you think they would say?
The best lover.
Okay.
Do you? What do I think they would say? My answer is the best lover.
They might.
Majority might say the best. I don't know. The best player. I don't know.
And that's what I want it to be. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want it to be. I wanted to be able to, maybe because it made me feel cooler, maybe because it made me feel more confident in myself, I wanted people to know that I had that access. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't until not too long ago that I realized that it's not really a flex, bro.
Well, this is a more traditional thing. This is what you're speaking to.
Yes.
And I fully agree, dude. I think once you find a person, and obviously, when you're 20, maybe you're not trying to find the person, your person. But I think when you find a person that's like your rock, like, and can like support you, like you said earlier about the girl that you're talking about, and you guys support each other in all ways, like, you're gonna transcend and move so much faster towards success in your life.
1,000,
like,
bro.
That's a fact.
I realized it because also, like,
bro, it's
this is a known thing, so I don't even know if I have to say this, but like, generally speaking, the insides don't match the outsides. You know what I'm saying? So you see these women, And like just the idea, like I saw a tweet yesterday that was viral. Like, is this the ideal woman? And it was just this like thick chick.
I saw you
walking down
on
the
that.
street.
I saw you comment on
and
that.
all the comments under it were like, like childbearing hips, like that's a high value woman right there. Homie, she didn't say anything. She just walked down the street. So as smart as we
Remember
feel
what I
like,
said?
no, but that's what I'm saying. But bro, but like,
I know
but
where
like
you're going.
and to some of them, if you said she's got a body count of 0 and her only goal in life is to have children, that would be enough for those people as well to say that's a high value woman right there. I want to be with her, right? Yeah. And my response was,
is she a good person?
Is she a good partner?
Fun to hang out with.
Is she fun to hang out with? Bro, listen to me.
And then Hassan said you're woke, brother.
Dude, shout out Hassan. No, he always messes around. He actually, I was texting Hassan before this show. I love that guy, bro.
Yeah,
I really
cool.
do. I just want it to be known right now. I love people on all sides of the spectrum. Right. I like people for what I feel them to be as people. Yeah. I really mean this. I love people on the fringe right, woke left, middle, all over the place.
Me too, because like I've had conversations where people will tell me, "Oh man, this person, this," and they're like, "Really, you like?" I'm like, "Yeah, you like." But have you like these people argue about stuff all the time on the internet, and I'm like, "But have you actually met them?"
That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing because another fear that I have, and I know this is the case. Is that I feel misrepresented by myself sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I really do. And that sucks.
That is a thing for you on the internet.
It really is. Unfortunately, like there's like this feelings or thoughts by at least a pretty large group of people about how I am as a person, the type of girls I roll with, what I do behind the scenes, Logan's right-hand man, this, that, the third, and the other, right? Yeah. But like you know the real deal because you're with me. We don't really get a chance to speak about it. You know what I'm saying? But like the truth of the matter is like I see Logan once a month. You know what I'm saying? I talk to him 3 times a month. Like that's our relationship is, he's got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Like that part of my life is very different now. I'm talking to one girl now who is, a very incredible person. Like there's a lot of things. I feel like what you do in this world, what I say, what you do in this world echoes into eternity. Like I feel like the most thing that I'm known for and the things that I've gotten the most views for or the misconceptions about me ring the loudest.
Always.
And unfortunately, like there's been, some misrepresentation and misconception of the person that I am or continue to be. But anyways, what I was going to on that point of that woman is like, bro, you can't base a woman's value as a partner on how many kids she's able to pop out and if she's a good cook. You can do that if you never want to, you can't do that. Do you want to know what you have when you find a wife? A partner that you can hang out with, watch movies with, play mini golf with, laugh all the time over the dumbest things, which means she has to have a sense of humor, which means she has to be able to hold a conversation, which means she has to have similar tastes and interests as you. Yeah. This whole new idea that you can just find a vessel for your children and fucking...
Is that a thing that you did?
100%. One of my other problems is I seem to channel the worst niche of communities because it's a small niche, but it's definitely a conversation. It's just, I have become so obsessed with like kind of viewing this like whole high value man, high value woman.
It keeps coming. Yeah.
On Twitter.
Yeah.
Twitter's a cesspool, bro.
Yeah. I noticed that too. The more I watch certain things, certain side, the more I get it. It's regurgitated.
Yeah.
But so you're saying that people are saying that like that's the worth of a woman is if she cooks, cleans. I listen, that's super important to me.
It's such a niche. I don't want to like represent it like that's what the internet thinks, but it's like it's this new kind of like blossoming thing that's going on,
Those things are important.
For sure they are.
Right, but you're right.
Absolutely.
It's like, yeah, can you spend time with someone? Are they cool? Do you have a good time? Is the most important thing.
100%.
But like,
it's got to be your friend, right?
So the question to tie this back to what we were talking about earlier about like the 20-year-olds talking, blah, blah, blah. See, the funny thing now is like you also, right now you get it. And right now you're moving to this new phase in your life where you're like, you want something of way more substantial value, which is why you're working on that.
Yep.
But your whole 20s, early 30s, you were completely different. You were the player guy. You were the guy that was like, I also don't right now in this position say, this is not the best thing to be and the best thing to shoot for.
aren't we all learning?
Yeah,
aren't
absolutely.
we all evolving?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm just making that known.
no.
I
I know that, but aren't we all in different stages in our life? The issue is the issue I brought up earlier is not being in a state of your life. That's fine. I'm not telling 20-year-olds out there that they're too young to learn.
Yeah.
That's what you should be doing. That's what I did my entire late teens and early 20s and continue to do to today is learn. That's it, right? Is learn, pick up a gem through living this fucked up roller coaster that we call life.
I know where
right?
you're going, yeah.
The issue is not that.
Yeah.
The issue is trying to tell other people
Yeah.
how they should be living their life.
Absolutely.
Based on what you've heard trickle down from someone who has or hasn't lived their own. You know what I'm saying? Like
Absolutely.
there's been this like massive like advent of preacherism on social media, and honestly it's been existing for a long. Do you want to know what I preach about? First of all, I don't preach. I simply show. There's a big thing called show don't tell. Show through actions. But podcasting has gotten so big, there's a lot of telling that goes on, right? There's a lot of just like speaking, dude. When I come here and tell you, yo, I still struggle a lot with my anxiety, like really badly, bro, and obsessive thoughts and unpack traumas from the past, but I show up no matter what. And I come through and I do the best I can. That's me showing 20, 30, however many millions of people that they can do it too.
Yeah, because it's real.
It's real. It's happening. They know this is the case. They've seen me walk off 100 podcasts because I had a fucking panic attack.
Yeah.
And they see me show up day after day. They see me put out shit fucking constantly.
Yeah.
That's showing. That's not preaching. When I tell people that no matter how long you have spent living in your mom's basement, filling your fucking veins with heroin or smoking crack or at the methadone clinic or addicted to pills, that you can get out of that and become something with this life. It's not because I'm preaching. It's because I fucking done it. I did it myself. So I'm showing them that it's possible. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That type of shit, if I told them that in their 20s, when I was in my 20s, if I'd been putting that into the world before all that shit happened to me, I would want people to be like, yo, shut the fuck up. Who are you talking to? You don't have the credibility to be making the statements that you're making right now. I speak on things that I know through experience and that I've learned about through fucking decades of turmoil and hardship and surgeries and all of the things that I've been through in my life. War, right? And that has made me, in some ways, a warrior who then can give that shit back to the people that watch me.
Yeah.
It's hard for me to see these, you know, masses of 20-year-olds and 18-year-olds and 16-year-olds watching these people who I know, because I know them, haven't been through shit. They've never been through anything, and they're talking about, oh, this woman's fat and she's a 4, whore, body count, low value man, pussy, loser, never gonna make it in life. You're sitting there 22 years old, bro. You never been in ICU before. You never buried a fucking friend before. Who are you talking to?
Yeah.
Who the fuck do you think you're talking to, bro? It's wild to me to see it.
Well,
it's frustrating for me to see it, bro.
It's the same thing of, like, you know, the self-help guru or the get-rich guru who's not actually rich, but he's getting rich because he's teaching people how to get rich.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. But who are some of these people you're speaking to? Because regardless if you say their names or not, like, they're going to clip this and say that you were saying they're
I
talking.
don't give a fuck
Yeah,
what they clip.
No, I'm just
I don't
telling you.
give a shit. I don't, bro. Let me put it like this. Whether or not people are getting more views than me or not in this moment, when I go to other countries, bro, I'm good everywhere. I'll go to their city.
Yeah, me too.
I'll go to their fucking city and make more noise on the street in one fucking day in the Middle East than they fucking will. Okay, I don't need to say their names. When I say the names of people I don't fuck with, I lose.
Yeah.
Do you feel me?
I do.
It's not because I can't debate them. It's not that because I can't defeat them or cook their asses in fucking in a conversation, it's because if I argue with these motherfuckers, then I'm a fool too.
Yeah.
Do you understand? Jay-Z once said it.
I hear it.
A wise man told me don't argue with fools because people from a distance can't tell who is who.
It's fucking.
You see someone saying some dumb shit, and I did it today. I'm fired up today because I was on Twitter talking to some fucking idiot. Some fucking moron on fucking Twitter getting in an argument.
Why'd you do that?
Messaging me like, why are you doing this?
Why'd you do that?
I need to not be on Twitter.
Just don't.
I need to not be on Twitter.
You know how many times I've tweeted some stuff and then I was like, nah, delete this. Like I not delete it, but I didn't even post it.
Bro, I get fired up.
I know, but why do you send it? Why do you send it?
Because I'm an idiot and I have a lack of discipline. Bradley.
Aren't you blue check now? So you get they get like 60 seconds to go undo.
Bro,
what are you doing? I always delete it. I go, no, I'm not gonna post. This is terrible.
I'm heating up right now.
Yeah. Let's go.
I'm heating up right now.
Go ahead, do it. This is not impulsive. You could talk more here. Not 30-second bits here.
LeBron James' son.
Okay, I have to talk about this.
Had cardiac arrest today. I feel like me and you can have a good conversation here.
Yeah. Which for this is a heart attack.
A heart attack.
Yes.
Some level of cardiac episode, right?
Yeah.
Terrible. Kid with all of the potential in the world to be as potentially maybe as great as his father. Just a family support, community support, incredible talent.
Yeah.
And a tragedy to have that happen. God bless him. We're doing this podcast the day it happened. I'm hoping he's fine. I've talked to a couple people in the circle. It seems like he'll be okay. Within 10 minutes of news breaking, you already know where I'm going with this.
Yeah, I know exactly.
It became a absolute anti-vax fire on Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay. Massive. Clearly, 100% without shadow of a doubt, the vaccine caused this.
Yeah.
Okay. No, of course, once again, I will say this. The majority of people, praying for him, hope he gets better.
Yeah.
Then, of course, there's, once again, Patrick Bet-David. Let's have a conversation about it. Let's include it as a potential. Completely fine with that. You want to have a cause-based conversation about it? Did he drink a pre-workout that day? Did he not sleep the night before? What of the 100 contributing factors?
Has he been doing cocaine?
Who knows? I don't hang out with him. I don't
curious.
fucking know. Okay, but what I'm saying is, which of the contributing factors was the cause of whatever happened? And by the way, what happened? Because keep in mind, this is before he had a cardiac episode. Was it myocarditis? Was it this? Was it that?
Yeah.
No one knows. But that didn't stop this firestorm.
No,
right?
It's not going to stop it.
And I made a tweet that basically just said, here's just a handful of the thousands and thousands of people who have had cardiac episodes as student athletes.
I was going to troll you on that and say sources trust me, bro. I'm sorry. I never did it. I never did it, but I saw what you did.
I mean, it would have sucked because I was in a mode.
Funny. It was so funny.
But
I'm sorry, this is not a light moment.
No, but who knows what's, like, I guess if you start to get into the who knows what source is trustworthy nowadays, Wikipedia does cite its sources at the bottom of the page. If you want to conflict or combat that or debate it, then that's fine, and everybody can debate sources. Sudden cardiac arrest has been the leading cause of death for student athletes for decades. It is rare, uncommon, but it does happen.
Yeah.
It does happen. It really does happen. Am I comfortable with PBD saying that we should be having a discussion around it? 1,000%. Let's talk about it. Let's look at pre-workouts. Let's look at exhaustion. Let's look at the vax, right? Let's look at all of it. Why
Absolutely.
the fuck would we not? We would be ignorant to not talk about it. We would be ignorant to not look at the data and to study it. But to make unsubstantiated, unbacked claims with certainty is dangerous. And I saw some of the motherfuckers who I will not name making those fucking statements.
But you know why?
It's disgusting.
Of course.
Disgusting. I automatically, I FaceTimed, it's going to sound crazy, but I FaceTimed Aiden Ross first. I talked to him. I said, bro, what are your thoughts on this? He said, it's disgusting. It's disgusting. You want to know what he said? Get off Twitter. And see, Here's an instance where a young man who's in his early 20s is
some
telling
shit.
me something
He
that's
taught you
right.
some shit.
He's 100% right.
Yeah.
Because if I listened to him, I would have came into this podcast today much more calm, much more relaxed, much less fired up, much less sweaty.
You want to know what's going on though? The reason why people are getting so fucking like fired up and they're just like, this is it, this is it, this is it.
Yeah.
Because the whole other side has continued to refuse to look at it. Like they could, it's, so this is, I'm not justifying it. I'm just going to speak to the other point here, which is because the other side and the mainstream has been so like, oh, let's not talk about that. Let's censor that. You can't talk about this on a podcast. You won't get views here. You're going to get age restricted.
Yep.
Because it's been so censored, that other side voice is getting louder and louder and louder. And every second they can go, this is what it is. It's getting bigger and bigger and bigger because the other side still has never addressed the fact that this could, in these deaths, could be somewhat related to things.
So here's the issue, and I would like to leave this with, you know, even like honestly H3 PBD, whoever the fuck wants to take it from a data standpoint. I'm not your guy. I don't have the data, so I don't care to argue it because
let's
I'm not,
look at
I'm
it.
not, but no. But the data does exist. They're 1,000% studies, but the problem is like at the end of the day, where we've gotten as a debating nation is if you don't like someone's victory in debate, if you don't like someone's viewpoint on something, you can simply declass or unjustify or take away the credibility from their source. So, I don't like your source. That kills the art. Like, that's where we're at. Unfortunately, the issue is now sources are on trust. If I provide a statement to you that myocarditis as a result of COVID is 4 times higher than myocarditis as a result of the vaccination, which is what the data has said, the response from anti-vax community would say, who paid for the study? Now all of a sudden we've gotten ourselves into a
you go in a giant circle.
standstill.
Go in a giant circle.
It's a standstill, right? Because it's like, oh, you know, Pfizer paid for the study or the government paid for the study. I don't trust those people, so your data is useless, right? The fact of the matter is, and by the way, that data point on the converse side is not enough to say that the vaccine didn't cause an increase in myocarditis or heart disease either. Because simply saying that COVID was a higher producer of the increase doesn't dispel the idea that the vaccination also caused the increase.
Yeah, timestamp this, by the way.
I'm not. Why can you even run this?
No, we can't. But I just want him to
check the facts on it.
No. I want him to just edit in some over COVID vaccine because that stuff will fuck.
Okay. I'm not used to talking about this stuff on the podcast.
No, you keep talking about it.
I'm very fair, Bradley.
Yeah.
I try to be very fair. I will not sit here right now and say with a absolute certainty that one thing did or did not contribute because I don't have that basis.
Yeah, I don't have any of that data.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Of course.
Unfortunately, everything has been weaponized.
That's
everything
the
has
problem.
been politicized.
That's the problem.
And let me tack this on too because it like I don't. Once again, we're gonna steer down this dark politics hole, and I hate to do it.
It's fun sometimes though.
It is. Here's my highest level question to the pundits, to both Tucker Carlson, people from the left, people from the right. What's the end game?
Money.
What is the end game of your views and clicks? What is the end game of your engagement on Twitter, on YouTube, on Rumble, on Kick, wherever? Money for yourself.
Yeah.
Until that end goal gets pickaxed, none of these motherfuckers are trustworthy. And honestly, that I'll say the same about myself. As long as the goal continues to be money, I just registered a domain last week for an organization to support substance abuse and mental illness. Last week, a .org 501(c) will be built in the next 3 months. As soon as I can, in my heart and in my mind, know that some of this is going towards actually fucking helping, everything changes. Because until then, all this riling up the base, getting people pissed off, is only for people to make themselves money.
It's self-serving, man. I know, trust me.
Self-serving. And there's not a single, bro, all these people on both sides can claim they want to make the world a better place. They want to change the world for the kids. They want to bring back this, bring back that. Why is your ass not in front of legislature? Yeah. Why are you not at the fucking Capitol? Why are you not providing change.org petitions to be signed? Why are you not driving your constituents to call their senators? Because the only thing you give a fuck about is ad rev, sponsorships, and subscriptions. Yeah. That's it. And so until that changes, this is all bullshit. I don't trust any of these motherfuckers on either side.
Yeah, well, now it's just like we were talking earlier. I was talking about how people are leaving mainstream media, going to individual people, and the same thing's just happening. It's just like people are creating their own like individual conglomerates of like they're making money because their production value, which is why, like, to be honest, I've never actually genuinely got in this whole, like, I speak to a lot of both sides and I listen and I talk and I have a perspective and I have an opinion, and some would probably think that I lean a little bit more right, which is fine. Fair.
People think I lean a little bit left, but and completely honestly, I don't. But go on.
Yeah.
I've always looked at you as fair.
Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you.
No, go ahead.
The good thing about you, love Logan. I love him, and we got to talk about that too. I'm gonna extend a little bit because I love being on the show, and I'm getting comfortable. You are self-made. You really can say that. There's not a lot of people that can really say that, bro. It's rare. It really is rare. Because bro, Kanye West was put on by Jay-Z, Rockefeller Records. They took his beats, they made him big. Drake was put on by Wayne. All of these greats, everybody was put on. Everybody, at the end of the day, if people want to view you that way or view success that way, are a result of someone else's success, being put on, being propelled, even if it comes down to just borrowing from someone else.
Yeah.
You are self-made, and that's cool. And I have a ton of respect for that, right? And the best thing about that is you never have to get lumped in with someone else so that your viewpoints are simply a representation of theirs. I.e., going back to the George conversation. Yeah. My involvement in that situation is much different than everybody else's involvement in that situation, but I always will be looked at as having the same viewpoints as the person that put me on.
Right.
Right? So it's harder for me, no matter what I say, to appear as a free thinker because of my alignment with other people.
Yeah.
That's the nature of the game. That's just how the fucking cards, split. I have a very, very different mindset on a lot of things than Logan does. But that's just how the cards fall, and that's what I have to deal with, right?
Yeah.
But so I look at you, and you get to say things, and then people get to take them at face value for what you say, which I'm envious of.
Yeah.
But you've always been, in my eyes, a pretty fair.
Well, person. Yeah, man. At the end of the day, like my goal is not like, I'm making money do this, but like I don't want to make money in a way where I feel like bad about it. I'm not trying to make money just because I know I can rile people up here or there. I genuinely do care about people, and I want to ask you, and I'll ask you after I finish the sentiment, is I've never done anything just for money. Now, at one point did I realize, this is making me money, I can do more of it, and like I can expand what I'm doing and grow my business. Of course, absolutely, because I saw the opportunity. But I've never done anything just to be like, I can get a check. Because I've been in situations, like starting from the very beginning of my space in the fitness world, and I was a trainer, and I was on Instagram before anyone was on Instagram. There was no fitness influencers, no one making money in the space. Instagram wasn't even a thing, and I was a trainer. I get on Instagram, I'm posting my clients' progress, and then I start to go, I have abs, and I think I look good. I'm taking selfies, and I'm posting their progress. And the next thing you know, I start doing this thing called online coaching, and I start making all this money. And I was the first fucking fitness person. I talked about this before, 10,000 followers. And I remember I go to venues, like going to fitness shows, and they'd be like, that's the guy with 10,000 followers. Like, that's how like OG I am. Like, imagine someone saw you in a room and like, yo, that guy's got 10,000 followers on Instagram.
That's huge.
So that's where I was.
Yeah.
Back in 2011.
Yeah.
So I was that guy doing what I was just doing, meaning like training clients, posting the progress. At no point did I think I'm going to become a fucking millionaire and be on YouTube and all this shit. I literally barely watched YouTube at the time. I was just posting stuff. And next thing you know, I started doing online coaching. and I did this one giveaway, and then my shit blew, and I was like, holy shit, I'm making all this money, and all I was focused on was like, oh, well, I want to give good service to these people. Then I started to get hit up by everyone and their mom who's now coming up, and they're like, yo, you make good money doing that? I want to, and it was always money driven.
Yeah.
It's like, so I never came from a place of, oh, I can just get money. And I think that's why I have most of my success.
No,
and that's
I mean,
why,
that's fantastic. I mean, bro, that's the best way to be. 100%.
and also too, it's weird because it's a little catch-22 because I also never had anyone to look out to go, oh, I'm going to do what he's doing. And it's weird because, bro, when I look at my life now, it reminds me of growing up without a father. And to a lot of people, they go, oh, that's bad. That sucks. And that's terrible. And it was in moments. But there's also a part of it where it was like, I had this ability to be free where like, I didn't feel like there was never anyone being like, yo, bro, do it this way. This is the way to do it. And okay, so I do it. So obviously
you got to make your own lane.
Exactly.
Yeah, sick,
and
bro.
so I talk about that a lot when I talk about losing my father. I've talked about this, I guess actually not a lot, but it's very important to say this now was I talk about this a lot in relationship to like personal phone calls with my mom where she'll say like, well, wouldn't you want it to be different? Like what if your dad was here, and how my life would not be what it is today if my dad was here. If I grew up with a father, if my father didn't take his life when I was 6 years old, I would not have the same life I have today.
The worst thing that has ever happened to you is probably the best thing that's ever happened to you.
Yeah, but it was all perspective.
100%. I mean, bro, like there are a lot of people out there who when I tell my story, they get teary-eyed. You know what I'm saying? When I talk about, you know, all the shit, burying friends, broken bones, you know, organs getting taken out, overdoses, all that shit. All of that shit is what made me. Yeah. All of that shit is what made me, bro.
Absolutely.
Without all of that, I couldn't be who I am.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Notice how it's all about perspective, though, because something like that could happen to someone else right over there. And
they'll be feeling bad for them.
Completely different way.
For sure.
Same thing. Like I was just able to look at it like not so much in the moment, but because it's really in hindsight when I look back and I'm like, oh, it's because I didn't have anyone saying like this is the way to do it. So I was just like, I'm gonna do what makes me happy, or I'm gonna go in the direction of what I think I really want to do. No one's giving me any direction, even though a lot of people feel like they need it. There is freedom, and there is like that not carefree, but just ability to create within not having some sort of direction.
So that's where I'm trying to get back to, because my journey hasn't been as
because I'll tell you straight up from the outside looking in and what I've looked, you know, that everyone suns you as like Logan's fucking Logan's sidekick.
But that part I never really got. I got it, but like, bro, it's been years since I've lived with him. It's been years since I put him in. You know, he's in 2 minutes of content once every 6 months.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we have Impaulsive together. That's great. Me and him started Impaulsive together. You know, I'm pretty sure everybody out there would say like the reason the show works is because me and him are on it together. Like, I don't know it wasn't like he was 100 episodes deep and said, yo, I'm going to make you a career. Did you see what I'm saying? Like,
I kind of want to sidetrack here because we're just talking about the show working. Did you see the Steiny clip with Schultz and the?
Yeah, of course. We talked about it on this last.
What'd you think? I didn't watch the full podcast.
I haven't seen the whole podcast either.
Okay.
I've seen some clips of it. It's the Steiny situation is just extremely odd to me. I mean, it's wild, dude. Like just it would be easier for me to just simply ask you your thoughts on it, because you're much closer to it than me. I mean, listen, dude. Like I did say Andrew's energy seemed a little off on that show, but I mean, Andrew went back. Like, Andrew is potentially the funniest person on the, I guess Chappelle. Andrew's one of the funniest people on the planet.
Yeah, he's so
right,
smart.
Incredibly intelligent comedian.
Yeah.
He's incredibly, and he's been crushing it for a long time, bro. Like one of the greatest to ever come out of New York. Just an incredible artist, stand-up comedian, creator. Right. He came on our show. He's been on our show multiple times. He's fucking hilarious. He does great podcasts.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened on that show. I think because I watched Schultz's show and he talked a little bit about it not being like the most fostering environment, and like,
well, I wasn't there.
So did you hear what I said about that?
No, what'd you say?
So you didn't even watch the Impaulsive
No, I just watched
episode.
the beginning.
The reason why we started talking about you in the first place was it honestly, like, Logan, you know, got into a little bit of this you know, into a little bit of a conversation around, you know, Full Send as a podcast.
What was he saying? Update me.
Loves Kyle. Great. I can't misquote this, bro, because the kid will flame me and flip out on me. You know, basically the sentiment of, you know, extremely great creator, not an extremely great podcaster.
Okay.
Which by the way, some people agree with, some people don't. But that's the sentiment. That's not a direct quote. If you want to watch the fucking clip, watch the clip. By this point, a week later, it's already everywhere. I promise you. It happened, right?
I'll go watch it.
And I simply said, listen, like maybe they were having a bad day, but I did say since day one to both Kyle, to John Shahidi, to everybody that Bradley needs to be on that podcast. I've told you that since the day that podcast started. I called you. I called them. I've told you that podcast needs to include you. You're very similar to me. You're a navigator, a tone setter, a pace setter, a bank of wisdom, of knowledge, of varying topics. You're a fantastic podcast host.
Sounds like you need to make your own show. I want to interview Jake, man. Fuck.
It's just
I also want to interview fucking Logan.
I think it's like a geographic thing.
Yeah. It is what it is. It's like these motherfuckers are not never in LA though.
It's rare. It's rare.
Really?
Really rare.
Well, they used to like be out here all the time.
They moved. It's just me and you holding it down, and Jeff Wittick.
Damn, I love Jeff. I'm gonna have to take a trip to Puerto Rico. See what happens. Can we use the really skinny gloves?
I mean, if you did MMA, it would use what, 8 pounds or less or whatever.
I think they're
6. Yeah, it's less than that, right?
Or some shit.
Wait, did I say pounds? Ounces.
Ounces.
Ounces. My bad.
8 or 4
I'm the
ounces.
last guy you want to have tactical fighting discussions with, bro.
Yeah, I just think it's funny. Honestly, I thought it was funny. I was like, the views are down, maybe like it's a summertime thing. I don't know.
Nah, it wasn't.
Because like, why me?
Because I will say this. He doesn't care about. Because bro, I always say, try to be like, yo, I'm gonna say some reckless shit. That's why my show is interesting because I'll fire off. Like I don't give a fuck, and I do semi protect myself on that show just because it's not gonna fly. Like it's like we, you know. Which also I don't mind because we get to have incredibly sick guests on that if I just started firing off like crazy shit, like we might not get on.
But not late.
Like Kevin Hart's not going to come on the show if I start going nuts, bro. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, but you could reel yourself in for certain conversations. But
no, it's not that. It's not that. Once you get marked as X, Y, and Z as a podcast, there's no coming back from that.
What's X, Y, and Z?
Whatever. Like our show has always slightly curtailed has slightly skewed towards mainstream. So we can have Schwarzenegger, we can have Kevin Hart, we can have all of these kind of like big major players. If we were unhinged, like we wouldn't be able
How would
to
you
get
classify
those people.
my show?
Actually, do you want that answer?
Yeah.
Intellectual, intelligent.
No. I mean, in regards to like, could I have those guests or not have those guests based on X, Y, Z, like you just described?
Like,
do you think I've marked my
Logan's
show?
Logan's a mainstream entity. He's a mainstream entity.
Do you think I've marked this as non?
No, I don't think that. I think that Logan broke out of YouTube. And I think you and I still exist in the social media realm. I think he can have a PR agent from his agency go to a PR agency that represents a massive A-lister and say, Logan Paul, multi-platform, disciplined superstar.
So not as the podcast, but as Logan Paul, right? As like, you see what I'm saying?
But the podcast is an extension of his brand.
Of course,
And so if the podcast was a inflaming podcast for whatever reason, I'm not saying that you can't be that. But if it was, I don't believe that we'd be able to have the caliber of guests.
So that's the question. Do you think this podcast is inflaming as you would describe?
No, but as a prerequisite of your ability to secure guests of that latitude, you would also need to be a breakout star. So you need to you would need to satisfy both. This show is by no means a fringe podcast. You're not like. You have some questionable people. Have had some questionable people on it.
Yeah, I love it.
But like that's fine.
I have fun.
But of course,
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? But what I'm saying is, I don't think that would stop you. I just don't think like it's the same as me. If I started a show, like I might have to have a real use case to go after Robert Downey Jr. or to go after other people in the addiction space. Like I'd probably have to have an agency really go and do it. A casting agent have to go and do it. It's not easy to secure guests.
Yeah,
Nelk, Full Send. It crushed it, and that's a result of John Shahidi. You know what I'm saying? Johnny Shahidi is an incredible networker and connected individual. Johnny Shahidi, who will tell you that, I was, partially responsible in him seeding into Full Send in the first place. Like, I was there for those conversations saying Johnny Shahidi is a fucking networked individual who deserves to be a part of this.
Yeah.
He'll tell you that. Kyle will tell you that.
Yeah.
For that reason. He's plugged in across the board.
Yeah.
I mean, Johnny Shahidi's friends with Johnny got him plugged in with Dana, who got him Trump, Musk, all of it.
Huge.
All of it. That's all Johnny. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, securing guests for these podcasts.
Sure it wasn't Bob Menery?
What is there to say about that situation, bro?
I'm just sorry.
Bro,
I just thought it
don't.
was funny. No, that's a joke, dog.
No. I'm not.
That's hilarious.
Bro, what is going on with Bob Menery, dude?
Right now, I'm not sure. I haven't
God
seen
bless
anything
him.
lately. I just got to throw the jokes. They're funny. Man.
I've messaged him. Do
you think there's something going on currently? I don't know. I think he's fine now.
He's good right this moment.
I think he has moments. We all have moments. I guess we don't all put them on our stories. So, you know what I'm saying?
I would venture to say that was one of the wildest breakdowns that I've ever seen from a creator, in terms of, at least from a platform-specific Instagram story perspective. I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that in my 6 years in the space.
FouseyTube.
Physically in person, yeah, but dude, like that Menery Smith, I think it goes down in the books as one of the greatest moments.
I didn't see it because I swear you
I've
called
been
me.
calling people every day like, are you seeing this shit?
He called me.
Bro, I'm watching this shit. I can't believe what's going on.
He goes, you seen these stories?
I can't believe what I'm
Bro, what was it? Because I didn't see it.
Spellbound.
I was spellbound.
Bro,
I didn't see it.
I could not believe the things that I was seeing.
What was he
bro.
posting?
Just unhinged rants about full timelines of the relationship, like from start to finish.
Wow.
in one sitting. I was just more so impressed with his memory. I couldn't believe his name should be Bob Memory.
Bob Memory?
Dude, he couldn't stop. It was wild. It was so things all started in, about 3 years ago when we first started dating. And at the time, we weren't in a committed relationship. We were just seeing each other. And fast forward to 6 months out, I'm like, bro, how does this dude remember all this shit, bro? He's like, and then
probably Adderall.
And then she maybe.
He's like,
then she cheated on me 3 times. We'll add a California pizza kitchen in Fort Lauderdale, California. That was my favorite one. When he said Fort Lauderdale, California, I was like, that's not a place. That is not even a place, Bob. And let me take a break here.
Wait,
and
3
stop,
times?
'cause it's not funny.
No, it is not funny.
It's not funny.
Yeah.
It's not fucking funny.
Sorry.
Okay, but
you had me laughing on that one, though.
No, I was laughing, but here's why it's not funny. Here's why it's funny and not funny.
It is kind of fucked.
Because, first of all, I reached out to him. I don't remember exactly what my messages were, but Bob knows he could reach out to me if he's got a problem. I've provided that. Every creator knows that. If a creator reaches out to me and says, "Yo, I need to talk to you. I'm going through a rough time," I will give you. You're the same way.
Yeah.
And I will go through my. How many times have we talked?
Multiple times, many times. I call you and I'm like, "Yo, dude, I need to talk to you about this." Yeah.
And we have.
Yeah, you've been solid as fuck, for sure.
And he knows that line is open. But the only reason why I'm laughing is because the way he presented it was that this breakdown was getting him more views. So it was almost like he knew what he was doing.
Bro, that's fuck.
But then he would wake up the next day and you would see all the stories deleted.
But he always does that. He always does that.
Dude, girls.
That's classic Bob Menery.
I'm gonna say this: girls are trouble. Bro. I pray that no man gets to that point, but girls, bro, they could really fuck you up, bro.
Yeah, it's a fact.
They could really fuck your life up, bro.
That's one of my biggest fears. That's why I've been so like, right,
guarded.
Fuck, it's the right, yeah, it's the right one. I'm not sure, maybe.
Well, I've always been super guarded. I haven't been fucked up since. I was fucked up in my last relationship, but that's just because there was a lot of factors. It was never like a power struggle or like, oh, I want to talk to her, but I can't. I'm going to show up at her house type shit.
Yeah.
That never happened. Not even one time. Like that relationship was symbiotic. We tried to make it work. It didn't work. Maybe back in like 2012, I've been there before, driving by the house. Like, why are you not answering my calls? We've all been there.
Yeah, I've done it.
But bro, it's wild to see it happen to to a person that's in the same space as you, and to see that happen
live on the internet,
crazy, bro. I just want, if I could have met him, I just wanted to shake him.
Like, stop.
Like, just shake him and be like, bro, please, dude.
Stop. Well, I mean, but he that's him. Like, that's the thing
that's why it was kind of funny, just because that's the kind of person he is, right? It's just like,
that's the thing. Like, when I laugh about it, it's like, I'm definitely not trying to laugh at the guy or his struggles, but for sure, like, me knowing him, how I know him, like, that is also just him. And he just kind of, like, he knows that he's posting it. You know, it's not like he's like, obviously, clearly he's posting it. So he knows what it is.
I don't know why that one affected me so much.
Oh no, you loved it though,
bro.
Because I was calling you about something else, and you were like, "Bro, but have you seen this?"
Because I'll say this. I felt like I was watching like a soap opera,
dude.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Bob Menery like produced like a real, to me. Like, a lot of people are like, "Bro, did you see what Beast did for the blind people?" And like this and that. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Like, Beast has helped more blind people. You know, like Beast is a great philanthropist.
Yeah.
He's lost the hook in me. I watched that what was the one where you gotta beat all the other 100 people, otherwise everybody gets killed from
Squid Games.
Yep. Fantastic, the greatest of the generation. But if Beast had a breakdown with his girlfriend and went on a unprovoked spree, I would be tuning in.
The whole world would be.
That's why I have to be a little bit more patient with people who are sucked in to other dramas.
Yeah.
Because we're as humans, we love to watch this shit, bro.
I got you, yeah.
There's everybody loves to see somebody all fucked up, bro. Not really. Like if he had hurt himself, I would cry. I'll cry.
Yeah,
like if Bob got hurt, I would cry.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But terrible to me and you. There's a lot of people who would, on Twitter would say, "Where's the video?"
Well, yeah, because people are just there.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like there's like levels to it. Like, I don't mind seeing somebody having
Wait, what are you doing here? What? Go say it. Nah, bro.
It's just like, okay,
you gotta say it. You gotta say it.
Do you remember how like obsessed people were when Britney shaved her head?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like, bro, if I have a mental breakdown, because that could happen any day. Like, I could have one right now. I think I am having one, right? Yeah. I almost would be okay with people being like, "Yo, that shit was fucking crazy," bro. Because it's not funny, but it's almost like a natural reaction to laugh at something that's so shocking.
A friend of mine is driving a car, and for some reason, his brake line, like coming toward the end of the track, goes out.
Yeah.
His brake line I'm talking about like his brakes stop working.
Yeah.
He must have hit a corner going like 70.
Right.
Directly into a wall with a slight turn. He was fine.
You better get to this punchline.
No.
Bro.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna get there. He was fine, but listen. This is what happened. This is because I'm so uncomfortable. Like, I don't know how to react to the situation.
Yeah.
Car, boom, crash. He gets out. I look at him. He's like completely fine, but he's like, "Fuck," and he's so mad. And I could not do anything but turn around, walk away, and fucking laugh. I swear to God,
because bro,
I was so uncomfortable.
Because, bro, it's not even like uncomfortable, but when you grow up like around hooligans, bro, like, I'm sure, bro, I don't know exactly, like, bro, I grew up around hooligans, and
yes.
and you ask any recovered drug addict about this, right? I even do it myself. I like to paint, and Ice Cube said this on our show. I always remember when he said this. He made Friday because he was tired of movies always portraying the hood like Boys in the Hood, like sad, only gun down shootings. All this.
Friday's such a good movie.
Bro, I hate to say this, but the neighborhood crackhead, which I was, and so I can say this, provides a lot of humor. Yeah. Bro, these motherfuckers are crazy, bro. I was one of them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like you don't want to like joke about it, but like, bro.
God damn it, it's funny though, man.
Like my family, I swear to God, bro, I drove my Infiniti G35 off a cliff, high off Xanax and crack. I swear to you, off a cliff. I took out 2 telephone poles, a guardrail, and about 100 trees.
Wow.
Got out, kicked the fucking door. Boom! Kicked the door open.
Bro,
the fucker's smoking.
Imagine you had that on camera.
I got pictures of blood all over. I mean, bro, pouring all over me.
But what do you have that on? You don't have that on video though. No one has that video.
No.
That would be hilarious.
No, I
to
mean,
see.
it might be. DOT, Department of Transportation might have it. I don't know.
Wow.
Call them up. But I was fucked up, dude, right? I was just me, single car accident, right? If you ask my family about that shit, as unfunny as that is, they would say, this stupid motherfucker, right? Like, you know how family, this stupid motherfucker drove his car off a cliff. Go ahead, Mikey. Tell the story. Mikey. Tell him about the time he drove.
It's for
You know what I'm
sure
saying?
a
So
joke.
it's like, and by the way, this is the humor that I would battle to save because, you know, there will be a bunch of people who, you know, will come out and be like, it's not funny. You can't laugh at something like that. I know you would never say
Never.
that. But while I understand that sentiment, because it is a very serious topic, mental illness, substance abuse, drunk driving, all that shit's fucked up. Don't ever do that shit, right? If you could avoid it. No,
of
well,
course.
do avoid it. Don't get fucked up and drive, right?
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, like, dude, humans are dark, and we use humor to deal with things that we cannot deal with without humor.
Yeah.
Death.
Yeah.
Bro, can you imagine at some point all of this shit is going to cease to exist for you
Oh yeah.
and for me and for you and for everybody watching this?
Yeah.
If I couldn't laugh at that shit, bro, and look at all of this as a circus,
You'd be miserable.
I would, bro, that's the scariest thing I've ever heard in my entire fucking life.
Yeah.
You're telling me I am going to be dead. I'm not going to have, I am not going to be alive anymore. All of this is going to end.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll go to a wake and I might laugh. It's an uncontrollable feeling. I can't help it, bro.
You got to do it. You got to do it, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's happened to me. Everybody here has gotten uncomfortable and laughed at shit because it's a natural human reaction. And even in this situation, people are going to say Mike's being a yes man because of Tokyo and what happened. And he laughed and all this shit.
Dude,
but it's a natural fucking reaction. I'm telling you, bro.
I laughed so hard that I cried. That story I'm telling
And
you.
your
I
boy
literally-
crashed into a
I was
wall,
crying.
bro.
It was one of the. Obviously, I was like, "Is he good?" He was good.
But then once he was good.
Oh, I was fucking crying.
Because he
dude.
probably crashed into a wall.
I walked like a mile away laughing.
Yeah.
And because he was so mad. He was so fucking mad, dude. I was like, oh my God.
And his reaction,
I literally
right?
to straight around and just walked for like a mile down this
Yeah.
track and I was crying.
Yeah, so like
Honestly, top 5 best laughs of my entire life.
bro,
It reminds me of the kind of laugh when you're in high school and like you know you're supposed to be quiet and everyone's like,
and you just can't stop.
yes, and it just
Bro,
keeps
if you
going.
look at any of the funniest moments for your life, they're never rooted in something like I used to weigh 300 pounds.
Which is fucking crazy, by the way.
300 pounds.
Yeah.
When I got off dope and was on methadone and eating like a maniac and all this shit. I was overweight. I was a sad case, lost in life, didn't know what I was going to do. And I went to my family's house one day. It was the middle of summer. My grandfather was there. He was in his 90s, had Parkinson's, fucked up. My whole family was there. Both my sisters, my mom, everybody. My mom had cooked this beautiful dinner, steak and potatoes. We would have it on Sundays all the time. And I think I'd really like kind of just gotten out of rehab. And so people were like being a little bit like nicer to me and like trying to like coddle me a little bit to like make me feel better about the state that my life was in.
Yeah.
So I walked in the house. I went and I wanted to sit down in this chair. And
Sorry.
when I tell you this chair broke like Lincoln logs, bro, the entire chair disintegrated underneath me and my fat ass. Bro, in a moment when people were like, damn, we feel so bad for him, we got to help him. Do you know what they did? Do you know what my Parkinson's grandfather... It was like Dave Chappelle was performing at the house. They're still laughing, bro. To this day, your fat, drug-addicted ass fell through the chair, bro. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I love it.
It's like, bro, of course we're not supposed to be... And so that's the battle that we all need to face right now on the internet is like...
I'm glad you said this.
Shit is funny.
Yeah.
But when is it funny? When is it too far? And everybody's got a different stance on it.
I don't know if there's fixing this though, man, if I'm honest. Because like if we talked earlier about like people doing it for money and like because you had to spend time to get to that pure intention of like, man, I'm going to have it sounds like a nonprofit.
Yeah.
Where you're going to like give back, right? Yeah. Where you're going to give back.
With Think Kindness. Mike's, it's called Mike's Bikes.
Yeah.
Right now I registered the URL. So I'll give it back to you in 1 second.
No, you're good.
The aim is to put bikes, which back to my story really quickly. I was given a bike when I weighed 300 pounds, a hand-me-down bike. I started riding it, listening to Mac Miller, 2010 summer. It got me to my first 90 NA meetings. It got me to the first job interviews that I ever had that brought me to this couch, literally, like by way of, journey.
Yeah.
And it gave me a place to clear my mind and forget about the traumas of the past 10 years and to spin my feet around a crank and feel the wind in my semi-existent hair.
Nice.
And feel good about life.
Yeah.
And I when I first started riding, fuck, dude, I just keep going back to these tough topics today. I was having fun laughing. I befriended a kid named Mike from my hometown that I became extremely close friends with. He also struggled with addiction. We became like brothers. I mean, he was my right-hand man.
Shooting each other up together?
No. We were both clean at this point.
That's not funny. Sorry.
It's fine. It's fine. Like I said.
Dude, come on. Come on.
It's fine, dude.
Were you both fat together?
No, we were clean. Yeah, well, I was fat.
Okay.
So, but I lost weight. We became good friends, and we lost.
Sorry. Dude, come on.
No, because now I have to deliver something that isn't funny.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And no, but it sucks. But like, when I moved to California,
oh fuck,
we lost touch with each other, and I got a call in early 2021 that he was in a motorcycle accident and died. And so it's another Mike aspect kind of tied back into it because his name was Mike as well. So anyways. Sorry to get dark. I'm just trying to deliver the story. So, which was a really tough time for me. And I have created this organization in honor of him to deliver bikes to people in recovery that are showing signs of progress, people that need transportation. Transportation is really hard for people in recovery because they don't have money to get a car or have anyone get them around. So I started this organization. We're also going to be raising money for scholarships to send people to rehab that can't afford it. And so, yes, that's happening right now. Where were you?
I'll go. So
sorry.
No, I was saying how like you got to that point. Like I said, the hard thing is not everyone's going to get to that point where they realize like, oh wait, I really want to just do good in the world instead of like, because we're also all taught, got to get money, got to be successful, got to have this, got to have that. And like, especially in the younger ages now, it's like the younger demographic, they have to, right? Like otherwise we talked about the value in men and all this kind of stuff, which is the most people leading this conversation in this direction.
Yep.
They're trying to create value within themselves in the world. So at the same time, it's like they're really on this hustle and they see the internet as this, this opportunity, which it is a great opportunity. But again, it's like, I think the thing that the only, because there's no fixing it, but I guess the real thing is like, how can you get the people who are like on the come up to look at it twofold and not just like money and like clout direction, but like, are you actually adding like good into the world and not just like creating conversation to create views and clicks for money, right? Because it's like that's where it goes. It gets washy because it took you time to go, okay, now I want to have a nonprofit and I'm going to add this sort of value into that's going to help value to other people.
This comes back to a misinterpretation of me and a misconception of me as a person again, and I'll just speak on it. There are a lot of people out there right now posing as purpose-filled individuals who have a desire to impact and make purpose. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them are very, very true to their word, and they're extremely aligned with their purpose. You don't just one day wake up and decide that you want to be a philanthropic individual. It does happen because brands do it and creators who get big enough to have to do cause-based marketing do it. I'm not going to speak for why Beast does philanthropy. I think Beast is a great person and it doesn't fucking matter why he does it because he helps a ton of people. I don't give a shit if he's doing it to get views. I don't give a shit why he's doing it. He's doing good in the world and that's fine. So that's not the issue. The issue is for the majority of people, You will not start to make impact until you find out why you want to make impact.
Yeah.
When I got to this city, when I got into this space, my impact had been predestined and determined for me a decade earlier.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Right? So there was never like a thought in my fucking mind of what needs to be done here, which makes my life easier. I actually feel bad in a lot of ways for people who want to do good but don't have a burning passion. If I know that someone is struggling, and you can attest to this just as proof. And this is one of my, honestly, it could even sometimes be a downfall for me. This gets dropped. The camera gets dropped. The meetings get dropped. Everything gets dropped until I feel like I've adequately helped that person in need. That is not something that can be taught. And by the way, I'm not even saying that it should be. I'm not saying that if we had 6-7 billion empathetic individuals on this planet, we wouldn't have any progress probably.
Yeah.
We probably wouldn't be competing and building, cities and shit. I think, but that is my purpose. My purpose is to help people. I was put here. The reason why God, the God that so many people are convinced that I don't believe in because of podcast episodes that have happened or how I've lived my life or the mistakes that I've made, the God that I believe in and pray to every single day has kept me around through countless things that have killed every single other person that has touched them for a reason. To do something, to make some sort of impact on this planet. I'm positive of that.
Yeah.
I've already started. The book has sold 400,000 copies. I've had more people reach out to me and DM me and say, bro, like this book has been read by 7 people in my family. This book was then donated to our local shelter so that more people could read it. You are saving lives. You are doing God's work every single day, but that's still not enough. It's not enough. That's why the org is started. But that is my purpose. And yes, I've misrepresented myself. I've fucked myself up. I've done a bunch of shit for views, for clout, for relevancy, for money, for whatever the fuck you want to say. All within completely, to be honest with you, I don't morally regret any of it. I have never fucked anyone over in my entire career. I've never done anything that made someone lose money. I've never done anything that I feel sketchy about. I've never scammed a single person in my life. But was some of it misaligned with my direct impact goals? Sure.
Yeah.
Now, here's the question. Did that misalignment cause more general awareness to make me a bigger umbrella so that when I start to work on my impact-driven stuff, I have a bigger audience?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's a shit. You're talking about the things that you kind of did that maybe you're not necessarily.
I have 2.7 million subscribers on YouTube, 2 million of which because I've dated one of the biggest porn stars in the world. I won't deny that.
Yeah.
Of course, I put the work in. I created the videos. I'm the reason why I have them. But yes, of course, I was creating content with a fucking rocket fuel next to me, as the Nelk boys would say, clickbait, right?
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye, clickbait.
She was fucking
the biggest.
Top tier.
There was never anyone like that.
I don't think in sense.
There has never been anyone like that, bro.
Yeah.
Like as a collaborator.
Insane.
There has bro. I don't care if you're one of the sidemen. I don't care if you're 2017 Logan Paul's collaborators. No one has ever had a plugin that was that.
Why do you think it was?
Massive.
Just because of where she came from in the
No, it was a time when this was pre Sky Bree. This was pre, the addition of those type of women into content. I mean, Adam was doing it, but in a small way. I mean, it was the first time an adult star of that magnitude was introduced to
a specific demographic.
And by the way, like, back to the point about like, why and all that stuff. I never posted an OnlyFans link. I never said go check her out on the other channels. There was never super explicit sexual content. My goal was always she became a character in the vlog.
Yeah.
So do I feel, like, do I sometimes feel semi-irresponsible for, mainstreaming that type of behavior? I don't fucking know. Like, I'll have that conversation with myself, as I continue to age, right? But by no means was I telling people to go jerk off. I actually, in fact, since day one, told people that it is the worst industry on the planet. I've said that since day one. It's a disgusting, horrific place. I don't masturbate. I don't watch porn. I don't watch porn. And
you been watching my videos?
Do you do porn?
I've been no. I've been stopping. I've been talking about not jacking off for like the last fucking year.
I know,
and
by the way, there's a lot of good shit coming out of that traditionality mindset. I think honestly, and now
what? But now what?
It's kind of a cheat code when I'm
God.
I'm fucking all the time,
okay,
bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of a cheat. Like I don't have to jerk off. So like I'm envious of the I'm not really envious because this part I don't get. What is it, like the semen retention community? I don't know if that's safe, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I don't know if that's safe, bro.
It could be. Have you ever tried?
Some of those dudes, like I see sometimes there's a vein in their forehead starts protruding.
Fucking,
yeah, and I feel like you want to talk about data? Let's track the aneurysm rate in the semen retention.
I don't
community.
know, man. I don't know. I think it's good. Have you ever tried? Like, because I did this for a while. I remember I was fucking and I was just not. I would like stop before I came and just like.
Okay, so that's unhealthy. That is unhealthy.
Really?
What you just said right there is disturbing.
Really?
Like I actually hope.
I did that, and
at this point in the conversation that no one's even watching.
I don't care. I got my time up, bro. I'm telling you,
no. What you're talking about is a tactic for longer sex is 100% true.
Yeah, I fucking
were
crushed
you
it.
eventually nutting?
Yeah, well, I like did
he
that
wasn't
for like,
nutting. He's gonna say he was, but
no,
the way you just
I wasn't for like I did it for like 3 weeks.
No.
I wanted to see how I could do it. That's ridiculous.
That's insane,
bro. But my time went.
So
up,
yes.
Bro.
Okay. So any adult film star.
Is this a thing?
No, I'm happy to talk about tactics. One of the reasons why I do well in that department is because I do know what I'm doing. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. If I wanted
such a drastic pause for
if I wanted to go into that industry, I could go into that industry tomorrow and I could be incredible at it. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. It's one of the reasons why I've been able to do the things I've been able to do. As a tactic, holding in your nut to produce longer sex is a tried and true tactic of sex.
Yeah, I crushed it.
If you can stop yourself and, oh my God, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to go ahead. Ready?
Yeah. Come on.
Okay.
What the fuck? I feel like you're about to pull your dick out or something. What the fuck are you
will
doing?
do that.
No, we're good.
I generally spend, relationships change this a little bit. Once you're hooking up with the same person, you get lazy. But I generally spend about 5 to 7 minutes every time I have sex in a foreplay position. Mm-hmm. And that's generally some combination of tongue, fingers, whatever. Mm-hmm. Understanding the G-spot understanding the clit and getting into that zone. Mm-hmm. Just as a warm-up. And that also includes some level of like neck, other areas,
all the
right?
good stuff, yeah.
When it comes to then there's always like this very, this is funny. There's always this like very process-driven or traditional head section, which is like, it's just kind of like unnecessary. Bro, I like head more than anything in the world. It's actually my favorite thing. Like so there are times when I'll just skip sex and just get home, right? But like girls feel like it's almost like a prerequisite every time you want to have sex. Like, okay, I'm gonna suck your dick for a little bit. So you get through these like two little like pre-game departments, right? Now listen, you get to a sex phase, you get your 8 to 10 minutes in, whatever. And you get to a point where you're at 90%, 85, 90%.
To climaxing.
To the guy finishing.
Got it.
Right, to you finishing. If you are not in a lazy relationship and you're not trying to finish so you can play Call of Duty or go to work or whatever, and you're actually pleasuring the girl, right? That is when you pull out and you go back to step one of the process. Yeah. Now they're going to hate you. They are going to fucking hate you, right? A little bit. You're going to hear the same fucking thing every time. Put it back in. What the fuck are you doing? Put it back in. You have to, as a man, get past that. You have to drown them out.
This is key.
You have to drown them out and either move back down to a foreplay position. They're probably gonna hate it because at that point they're fired up from a penetration standpoint, and they don't want you to be fucking around with the clit at this point, right? Because they're in the other way, right? You got to get through that. Sometimes it takes a minute. Sometimes it takes a minute and a half so you will go from 90 back down to about 50. You're not going to reset. It's not like you're not going to go back in and be ready for another 12 minutes based on that. But you might go 90 to 50. So then when you go back in for another 6 minutes and you get to 90 again, it's the same thing. Now you can repeat this thing as many times as you're allowed to by this horned up woman, right?
Right.
But yes, that is the route to lasting longer. Yeah. You have to get out of there prior. But the issue is like some dudes are watching this right now and they're like, dude, like I come in 2 seconds. Like I know that. I know there's a massive part because they're younger, bro. They're younger. Yeah. Like I'm 38 years old. My dick is not super sensitive anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. Not to mention, like I've been fucking for 22 years.
Yeah.
And I've had some wild. I never talk about any of the stories.
Yeah.
I never do because I always feel weird. I always feel like people are gonna say humble yourself and stop bragging about this shit. But I have some of the most insane. Underwater public
underwater sucks, bro.
No, not sex. Like one girl holding another girl underwater so she could suck my dick. Like weird shit. Like strange shit. Because I was in that adult community for so long.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I have stories, but
Impulsive could never.
No, I used to talk about it more.
What?
They're not. I don't want them to sound like brags because it's not cool. I have a problem. I've worked on it. I feel much better now.
But you telling the stories is
I don't want to misrepresent myself anymore and make people think that that's what I want to promote as cool. Yeah. It's not cool. The coolest thing that you can have is a partner. Yeah. The coolest thing that you can have in this world is a partner. And that doesn't mean a vessel for your children that's going to cook food for you.
That's pretty lit though too.
No, yes. Okay. I mean, shit, if somebody says to you like,
but only that. Yeah.
If somebody says to you, "Yo, you can only choose your partner based on 2 things for the rest of your life," then yes, if you say a good vessel for my children and cooks good food, then I'm not mad at you. But that's ridiculous to be a full inventory list of a potential partner for a lifelong.
Of course.
Is that his only list? Is that his only list?
No, it's insane.
That's you. Dog.
Yeah, yo, true.
That's insane, bro.
No. I don't actually believe that.
Not you.
What?
I'm just saying, like, that's crazy. Like, bro, listen to me, dude. You gotta go. Yo, this girl's gonna be there for you when,
dude, I know.
When your favorite parent dies. This girl is gonna be there for you when you lose your job. This girl is gonna be there for you when all of your homies, all of your brothers that you thought were your brothers fuck you over, which it doesn't always happen, but that girl is going to be there for you all the time. And if you find a partner that is able to support you, that is able to stand up, bro, like I've been looking, I've gotten so fine tuned with it in the way that I look like at actions early on in relationships. And I've had a couple great looks over the past year plus. Great looks, incredible girls. This one went far above the threshold, which is why I've started to talk to her, right? Really seriously. And I'm exclusive with her. I'm not talking to any other girls. But I've picked up these little things. I'll be at dinner. Big plate of ceviche will get put down in front of us. First thing she does is grab the spoon and start putting food on my plate. Food on my plate.
Food.
Servant. No.
See?
Yo, stop, bro. I'm just saying.
You just said servant?
Okay, ready for this?
See?
Ready for this?
Crazy.
How about this?
No, but dude, I get that.
How about this? I'll be at dinner with, 8 people, dudes and girls. Some people will like what I'm about to say. Some people won't, right? I'll start in a little argument, right? If she even gets the notion that I'm getting pressed in the argument, she's popping right in. Now, of course, you want to be careful with that because you don't know. But when they show up and they show up right, and then they show back and then they back off, like, bro, she's Latina.
Oh, yeah.
So she's Latina, bro. So like, bro, I'll be outside like a restaurant or something, like, yo, like, what did I tell you, bro? I have a reservation at 10 p.m. and he's like, I don't even have time to step back. Like, she's up, yo, like, and if he's if he's Latino, they're talking in Spanish.
She speaks Spanish?
Oh, 100% she speaks Spanish, bro. She's fucking Cuban. She's Cuban, bro.
Jacob's Cuban.
Yeah, she speaks Spanish.
Dude, that's fire.
And so she's out there, and I have to tell her once to chill out in English and once to chill out in Spanish. So it's good and bad. The Latinas they scare me a little bit.
Yeah.
But as long like but from a traditionality standpoint, they are still very traditional. They're raised by their mother to be providers, to be
cooking, clean.
Yes.
Dude, I love it. See, we're on the same page, you and I.
She's hilarious. She watches the same movies as me. She listens to the same type of music as I do. She appreciates the same type of festivals. Buddy, you got me. The first thing I said was she gives me food.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Dude, it's amazing.
You're so right, bro. Fuck.
Oh, but it's nothing wrong with that.
What do they say? The route to a heart is through a man's stomach,
yeah,
bro.
that's a fact, dude.
Damn.
That's a literal fact. Like, I'm not saying all these other things don't matter, because they do fucking matter, of course. Like, that you can't spend your life with something that you can't have a good time with. That's insane. But honestly, dude, if she doesn't cook and clean, it's like, get the fuck out.
Bro, I wake up. Oh my god. No.
Yeah. No, wait. I want to ask you this question.
I did send her flowers. Say I wake up every day and all my clothes are. I'll go take a shower. All my clothes are folded and my bed's made.
Bro, this chick's amazing.
I know.
Oh my god.
And that was since day one.
Oh
that was
my
since
god.
day one, bro. That was since day one, bro. That's how I knew. I was like, bro,
holy
okay.
shit.
She asked me, like, because I've been talking to her for a couple months now, and she asked me, like, maybe like 3 weeks ago. She was like, yo, like, can we talk about something, like what are your intentions for this, like,
this is what I was gonna ask you.
And she was like, are you, because the good thing about her too is, like, she's not on the scene. Like, you can't fuck with her, bro. You can't talk to her. You can't do that. She don't give a fuck.
That's
bro.
amazing.
She's off.
Wow.
She got, like I said, 60,000 pending requests, and she doesn't care, bro. Like, her friends are like, I've literally seen the conversations. Her friends are like, what are you doing? Like, you could literally become a creator overnight. And she's like, why would I want to be a creator? I do business. I'm getting a strategic business degree, right?
Wow, dude.
But
where the fuck do you find this girl?
Randomly.
That's insane.
Because listen, I'm not gonna, like, she has a past. She if you think, okay,
she had an Instagram at one point already.
No, not even that. But the idea that there's these unicorns that exhibit every single optimal male trait, but also have never fucked anyone else in their life, have never been to a nightclub. Good luck. Best of luck to you. Honestly, go spend the rest of your life looking for one of those unicorns to have your children. Great. Like best of luck to you, right? So, yo, like, did she have a phase? I'm sure. Did she hook up? Sure. Like, but based on, the first amount of time with her, like, I've never had to rush into a relationship or even felt comfortable in a relationship because I've never had to. But this one, I just feel like this is a good one, bro. She's a cool ass chick. She fucks with everybody. Fucks with her. Like, I don't know. I don't want to.
No, it's fine.
Sing her praises
Also, like, at what point? I'm really curious. Like, because we've had conversations on this pod before about this kind of stuff. When did this start to really change for you? When you were like, okay, I really do. Like, when did you start actually looking for it? Because obviously you can't find something you're not looking for.
I wasn't looking for it. I really wasn't.
At all.
I wasn't looking for it. You want to know what's funny? I actually met her at Story on the night the Nelk boys did their Happy Dad thing with at Story.
I was supposed to go to that. I didn't go.
So she's not a partier. She was dragged out that night. I think she was rocking like Vans. Like, she just didn't want to be there. And I went into this green room and I saw this girl and I was like, dude, that girl is fucking beautiful. Like, she's not like she just had a different vibe. And I was like fired up and I started like joking around, making her laugh, like just having like a good time. And we ended up going out. We went to 11 and just like had a good time and just like we're hanging out with a group of people. And she said she had to go home because she had to go to Easter church. And I was like, okay. So this girl is like family. She's like about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was obviously like she has fun because she was at 11 on Easter Eve with me. So like, she's very similar to me. Like, she doesn't take it too seriously, but she's also very grounded.
Yeah.
So she was just a cool chick, and then we just started hanging out. And she's been moving around with me. I mean, I was just in Miami with her. She flew out to LA. She's come back to LA on Friday. I've just been moving her around.
I'm
to
happy
try
for
to.
you, man. That sounds like really cool.
I just try not to get too ahead of things.
Yeah, I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I'm taking it slow. But I'll put it like this: she's awesome.
Yeah.
That's just like a simple statement. She's just a great girl, and she's super cool.
Besides that, what has been the other biggest shift in your life lately?
I think at some point I just did have that realization that I realized recently that I've started to feel differently about casual sex. And it wasn't because of what anybody said to me. I think I really started to notice how gross it is. And by the way, I've always known that. It's are you willing to accept that from yourself?
And actually just say no. Yeah.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And by the way, like as men who are driven to have sex, like we're sexual beings, a lot of times something that makes it easier to say no is having a home with a person that will say yes, that you can say yes to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so like it's almost like they combat each other because you don't want to be alone, so you're having casual sex, but this casual sex is preventing you from having a person that you can be with, right?
Yeah, man.
And so it's like you're stuck in this cycle, and I've been stuck in a cycle for a long time.
Me too.
And it's an addiction. It's an addiction, and it's a sick addiction, bro. It really is. And I've had very, very wild escapades, and I've noticed that after weekends I've had weekends where I've just looked back and after 3 or 4 days in cities, because I'm in different cities and countries, and I've looked back and just looked at myself and been like, yo, you're disgusting. Yeah. You're not even like, you should be ashamed of yourself for what you just did. And it was all fair and love and war. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But it just, I would wake up with anxiety and just,
it's not fulfilling.
No, it's the opposite. Yeah. It's the opposite. And so I think a part of it was harnessing and you know, saddling that beast to a point where it allowed me to open up to this idea. And I'm still a work in progress with it. I have really tough times. I talk to her about it. I'm very open about it. I have times where I feel very confined, and all girls love to cuddle. Sometimes I have trouble with that. And like, I just feel like almost like shut off sometimes. And so she'll just be like, do you want me to?
You have a hard time cuddling?
Yeah.
I love cuddling, man. That's my shit. It's like the best feeling. It's because you're close. You don't want to be close.
I told her this. Bro, I'm going to say this right now, dude.
You said unless you fucking cook and clean.
I'm going to just say something.
Okay.
Because I'm leading with love nowadays. I want a quick shout out to Tate, bro.
Okay.
He did this Aiden Ross stream.
Thought you hated
recently.
Tate.
No, I never.
I know. I'm trolling.
I never hated him. I never hated him. I disagreed with some of his approaches. He has been since prison humbled, it seems like, and has been leading with love, regardless of of what the conversation is about. Talking to Adam 22 and Lennon the Plug about letting his wife fuck other men.
Yeah.
Leading with love.
Hey,
whatever you guys want to do in your relationship, that's for you. It's not for me.
He didn't even really want to talk about it.
I know he felt uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I'll lead with love today as well.
Yeah.
You had a guest on by the name of Zerka recently. Okay.
Yeah.
Me and him had a little bit of an argument, a tussle on Aiden Ross's live stream a couple weeks ago. I don't deal well with conflict. I prefer to avoid it. My ego played up a little bit that day, and I said some stupid shit that was just stupid. Now, I will say why I brought it up. I saw a clip from him last week where he said, guys want two things, like I thought it was like sex and peace and quiet or something like that. I thought it was something, because you know he's fucking insane. Like, and I don't mean that, once again, I don't mean that in like a bad way, but that dude's tapped, bro. Like, he's actually tapped. Like, he's a lunatic, okay? And which is very entertaining, and I think he's got some running room there. I have him blocked on Twitter because I can't deal with it. It's almost like too much for me. Dude, but I think he's got running room because he is entertaining.
Yes.
He said this clip, girls want I thought it was sex and peace and quiet. And he said, as soon as a guy nuts, the last thing he wants to do is cuddle you. He said, go take a walk. Go take a walk. Get a bite to eat. And as much as I was like wanting to disagree with him because of our argument, I was like, damn, he's so right. I was like, bro, he's so, at least for me. So what I told her last week was, if you want to cuddle me before we fuck. It was, bro, before we have sex, bro, I'm a cuddle machine, dude. I'm, like lovey-dovey, like kissing on you. Like,
why not after?
Bro, I don't know why, but I just want a little space. No, it's not even come to your senses because she's still just as
hit her with a fucking elbow.
No, she's still just as hot and she's still just as great. But I don't know. Like, I'll just throw some funny shit out. Imagine, like, how when you come, when you jerk off, you kind of like feel like ashamed.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I'm saying?
You're like,
shit.
Yeah.
Like, what if there's a little piece of that too when we fuck? Like, just a tiny piece where you're just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Maybe that's not right. But for some reason, okay, here's another reason. When I get done having sex, because like I said, I'll throw down, even at my old age.
I'm sweaty. I'm hot.
Hot as fuck.
Is that what you're gonna say?
100%.
Okay, I
get
fully
the blanket off me. Get your beautiful, athletic, twice a week at Glute House leg off of me. Get it off of me.
Yeah.
I'm burning to death.
Yeah.
I envision, like, I'll tell her, I envision this is what hell feels like.
It's hot. I feel that.
So I need about 15 minutes. Now, if maybe I pop the blue chew, in 15 minutes, my dick might be hard again, so now I'm ready to cuddle again. You know what I'm saying? It's even 10 minutes. Actually, shout out Blue Chew, 5 minutes, bro. Sometimes I'll come and my dick won't even go down. I'm not even kidding, bro. I'm 38. I got one foot in the grave. I'm a lunatic, bro.
Yeah, I love it.
But
how many milligrams
I'm on
is that?
PEDs.
How many milligrams
I'm on PEDs. I'm on performance enhancers.
It's dope, huh?
So, I mean,
cool.
sometimes, because she'll tell me sometimes, she's like, you didn't take one today. And sometimes it'll be midday. It's not always, but it's like.
It's dope.
Bro, here's my question about it. It's like this. I have an 8:30 dinner. I'm gonna be late to it. It's with my little sister. No, I'm not. I'm not leaving because I'm having fun now. Can I quickly give a quick statement?
Yeah, of course.
To our audience.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm sorry a little bit about the beginning of the show because I don't warm up till about an hour and a half, and that's what makes Impaulsive hard for me because it's an hour long.
Yeah.
So I'm really warmed up right now, super comfortable. Like I can do this for another 4 hours on every topic under the sun. I'm not saying we're gonna. But it sucks because we tackled some really important shit at the beginning of the show today regarding, vaccines and George and all this stuff. And I wish I could talk about it now because I'm super comfortable. 30 milligrams. So
you did 30?
Well, 30's so 50 is an average dose of. Are we talking about Cialis or sildenafil?
Cialis.
That's different. Those are different dosages. That's
how much Cialis you do?
Cialis would just be 10.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Sildenafil or Viagra is different.
Yeah.
What is the difference between taking a pre-workout performance enhancer before the gym and taking like a performance enhancer for the bedroom? Because here's the problem. Very similar to Lance Armstrong. Your competitors are doing it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, you want to hear
they're walking in there at 120%, veins bulging, reload level at 150%. They're nutting, dick is still a missile. They're ready to go again. So you're walking in there saying, I don't need it because I'm at 90% or I'm at 100%. I'm all the man this girl needs. You got to understand, you ain't going against other men. You're going against bionically enhanced super demons. This is hilarious. That have loaded themselves to the brim with performance enhancing dick pills, pedips, bro. Okay, and they're gonna destroy. They're gonna destroy and conquer. Yeah. And so bro, more power to you. I was good without it, but shit, I'm better with it. I'm better with it, bro. You don't want me in this game, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm out of control.
You know what's funny too is like you were saying the talking about the pre-workout. Actually, the Cialis is actually a good pre-workout.
So that's
is.
the other fucked up part. There's actual health benefits there are people that take Cialis for heart health.
Yeah, to lower the blood pressure.
Very low dose, 5 milligram daily Cialis for heart health.
Yep.
Because it widens your vessels to allow for better blood flow. Crazy.
Yeah. It's amazing, man. That's an incredible drug.
Been a great sponsor for me in Blue Chew, by the way, too.
Shout out Blue Chew.
A lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
But I do use it, and I do believe in the product. So it's like that's just another testament to like my promotions. Like I like if you see me do a DraftKings ad, it's because I use DraftKings. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't promote shit that I don't use.
Yeah.
You know.
Have you ever promoted anything you don't use?
Yeah, I'm sure. I think everybody I'm sure everybody has promoted something they don't use. But I would never say that I use it. Does that make sense? I would say XYZ sponsor does X, Y, and Z. That as a promotion of the product. I just wouldn't promote it as something I used.
Are you ever gonna just drop your own pod, or you're just gonna be a pussy forever? And also, you obviously
that's a very good. I mean, bro, that's a very good way of looking at it. No, I am, dude. I don't know why I had so much trouble putting it into words before. I think I was in a weird mental place before. It's not completely that I'm just not able to do it because of belief in myself. I just don't know that I've had that, bro. These night shifts take a lot, bro. They're all over the world. Like I travel constantly.
So that's the question. Like, are you gonna do that?
No,
forever?
I think I have to stop now. I think I will have a podcast in the next 3 months.
Oh, solid.
Yeah,
I'm coming on for sure.
100%.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Bro, it's I just need to figure out format, like what it's like, because I want it to be a little bit different. I don't want it to be like, bro, I like weird shit. That's the thing. Like we never really I love Jeff FM. That's one of my favorite shows to go on because it's so fucking weird, bro.
I will give that to Jeff. That is one of the funnest shows that I've ever been on.
Like people like all of a sudden Stephen will be pulling his dick out. Like you're talking about serious topics. We could talk about the North Sentinelese Island, which is my favorite.
And I
topic.
fucking love Jeff, man. Jeff
is one of my favorite people in the world. Yeah. I love him so much. Me and him have had such a blossoming friendship. We've been there for each other during tough times, during good times. We've gotten to collaborate a ton. I would say he's probably my best friend right now. We talk every single day. We FaceTime every day. We hang out all the time. We're always trying to help each other. In real life and in content, which is a little bit different because a lot of times it's one or the other. We always have each other's backs.
Yeah.
Like, bro, that's like my like ride or die like dog right now. Like I love that kid. He's been great. We tussle sometimes too, but I think that's just so symbolic of like real friendship.
That's you have to have.
Yeah.
That. Like in all like really strong relationships, I think you even like with your girl, like you're gonna fucking argue and be mad, but like you do have to have some conflict just in general.
100%.
It can't always be fucking perfect. It's not real.
Yeah, it's not real.
And it's also like how you built I think how you built your life in a direction that you've now grown from it and become you're better from it. It's the same way in relationships. Like if you can go through more things as a human with someone, like then it's like, yo, you really have like built something together.
Yeah, so 100%. Yeah, so podcast, I would say next 3 months for sure. I also, as I keep mentioning, Patrick Bet David, we've been in contact. I'd love to do his show soon. Tate, I talked to with Aiden. I would be happy to do a show with them.
I was gonna fly out.
And anybody on both sides. I think I'm gonna start a little bit of a podcast circuit again. That's why I came here because I really want to make sure that I'm seeing other places and not getting siloed. And then also 1010 Burger is a really big thing for me. You've seen other people in the space do burgers. I think Beast had some initial success just because of who he is and how big he is. My product is incredible.
But he was outsourcing it to just restaurants.
He was doing ghost kitchens.
Yeah.
I will never see a ghost kitchen.
Right.
I might franchise. I might do some licensing deals. But for the most part, this will be a brick and mortar ground up company.
Yeah.
With ownership across different continents, and I've got backing from some massive.
Could I open one?
Yeah, I mean they're expensive, bro. They're a lot. They're a lot. You can certainly be involved in like the LA location, for example. But I'm really excited about it. Smash burgers are an anemic product globally. I go all over the world and try products, different burgers all over the world. There's nothing like this product. LA, it's a top burger in LA,
saturated.
But you put it LA is the best burger market in the world in terms of street
Fucking
food
crazy.
burgers. But if I go to any other city, I'll win automatically. There's no competition. I went through massive development process with a really skilled burger chef. We've got a great product, a great brand, great packaging, across the board, great funding. And so right now it's pop-ups, but we're starting to raise money for the general pursuit. And, you know, I mean, we've got great partners. It's going to be awesome.
Bro, August, I'm dead ass. I'd invest in that.
You can. August 11th, 12th, 13th, New Haven, Connecticut is the next pop-up. I'm bringing it home to CT 203. So you guys can come see me at me, Jeff, and Tana. If you care to see them as well, at Via in New Haven from 12 to 6 every day for the 1010 pop-up in New Haven, Connecticut. I'll be posting about it on all my channels as well. If you want to come try the burger and you're a CT native or New York or Massachusetts, whatever, I'd love to see all my East Coast motherfuckers there. And yeah, that's it.
I appreciate you coming, man. It's been a
blessing. I love you. Like I said, I could sit here forever.
I don't want to fuck your dinner up. I feel bad.
Yeah. No, I know. And dude, how long have we been going? 2 hours? Longer?
I feel like we just always do that.
I just don't get warmed up for a little bit.
It's
I don't know how to get through. I'm thinking maybe like when I start my show or like whatever, maybe I do like a half an hour with the rest of production and then but not with the guest, or whatever, just like bullshit for a little while, because it takes me, what do you think it is? So much drugs or something like that it takes me a little while for my brain to remind itself like, yo, you're a brain, like start making sense.
Got it.
Because like if you look at me for the past like hour, I've been flowing
100%. You were not flowing in the beginning, though. You were. It was just a little more. You were a little more like thoughtful before you answered.
Yeah.
Now it's like bang.
Yeah.
That's the best way I would describe it.
100%. It's a flow state.
Yeah, I would say that would be smart. Like 30 minutes, like with the crew, and then just run it. Like have the guests come in.
That's what I'll probably do. But thanks for having me back.
Of course,
bro.
man.
I
Always
love
a
you.
blessing.
I love coming on the show, and your audience is always super cool and supportive of of everything. So. I'll be back whenever you want.
Appreciate you, man. And I can't wait for your pod, for real.
Dude, it's going to be fun.
You need it.
It's going to be fun, dude.
Yeah, I'll be on there. Subscribe to the channel, notifications, all that good shit. Yo, next week, Jacob, come here. Come over here. Come over here. I want motherfuckers to know who fucks us up next week. Come here.
Dude, we fucking already done this.
Yeah, come here. Oh, you have the questions?
Tell them to send them.
Okay. Every week now, listen, send your questions at askrawtalk@gmail.com if you want your questions answered by me and the guest. Do you have questions over there ready? Okay, we can't do that because we don't have any more time. Next week, the next guest you see, send the questions. The next person I interview will answer these questions with me.
But how will they know what to ask? Like what guest it is?
It's really general.
Oh, like
and it's
evergreen shit?
Yeah, and it's pretty much like there's always really good questions. And to be honest, I'm sorry to you guys, actually, because I realized that was one of my favorite parts of it. And
that's actually one of my favorite parts.
Yeah.
I fucked up. I knew something was missing, bro.
Yeah, and it would go and it would just fucking honestly get the best questions because people, once they've watched the pod for long enough, they kind of get the vibe of the things that we talk about or things that we've talked about.
Yeah.
And they kind of interject questions that are similar. So I really love doing it. And also another thing too, for you guys listening before I sign out completely, I'm going to work on uploading a second pod every Thursday instead of every, so it's obviously we're Tuesday, I'm gonna do every Thursday where I'm just gonna be like answering your questions audibly, like putting them in the video so you guys can hear the question, and I'm just gonna like answer the question, kind of how I'm talking about this question answer at the end of the pod, but I'm gonna do a solo pod where I just basically just respond to their questions like audibly.
Smart.
So I'm gonna start doing that every Thursday on Raw Talk on this channel. Subscribe. I appreciate the fucking love. Blessed to have you, man. Thank you. Do you still own nothing of that?
Nothing. 0%.
Damn, dude, that sucks.
Loyal servant, bro. You know
that's crazy.
In that respect, at least.
But you get, I mean, there's other benefits.
No, he already told me he's gonna break me off.
Because that's.
He already told me he's breaking me off, bro.
Because that's a
I'm
big
breaking
one.
him off.
Yeah, because that's that shit fucking.
No, he's gonna. Yeah, I'll be taken care of. I'm not worried about it.
Good. You should, because you know it's funny. Your
bro,
ads are.
Bro, I have it 24/7.
Your ads are hilarious.
I
like
probably promote it more than
sponsored.
they do on YouTube, bro. What the fuck, dude? Are you serious? I brought it to your opening.
Yeah. No, I love it. And then what about? Oh fuck! Before we get off this topic, now just real quick, the energy drinks, are they 6 times the caffeine? Is that actually a thing?
No, they're not. I can't believe I'm even talking about it this much as a non-equity owner. No, they have 200 milligrams of caffeine, which is the same amount as other, competitive drinks and less than some other ones.
Why did they say that?
There are some that have 300 milligrams. I don't remember the whole story.
Did some product get fucked up?
No, I don't remember what it was. It doesn't. That was the issue. It doesn't have it. It was wrong.
Well, definitely, because I've had one.
It was incorrect. It has 200. The can has 200 milligrams of caffeine. It's an 18+ energy drink product that has 100 milligrams less than a lot of the competitive set. I'm not going to name other brands,
right,
but like
yeah.
they have 300 milligrams.
Yeah.
It's not. It's completely in
Well, I
line
know-
with the industry standards.
I've literally drank it. Was like, no, there's no way there's 600
they're-
in this.
No, they crack. They're cracking for sure. Don't
Yeah,
get me
but-
wrong.
but
they're
it's
not.
not-
No, they're not out of by any means out of line with industry standards.
Yeah, weird. Anyways, fuck it. We're signing off. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming. Non-equity owner, thank you so much for giving that shout out. Yeah, that's it. I love you guys. I'm out.
Peace.